Napa 500 for the Winston Cup Series, live from the Atlanta Motor Speedway in Georgia. Once again, the Winston Cup Series has come to Atlanta, poised to crown a champion. Jeff Gordon will be a story today, but not the only story. Starting next to pole sitter Dale Earnhardt Jr. is Mark Martin. He has 2 wins at this track, but his last 2 finishes here, 41st and 40th. Mark Martin hasn't won anywhere since Martinsville in April of last year. He's not going to make it back in the top 10 at points for the first time since 1988, but he would like to make it back to victory lane today. Let's go out to pit road, and here's Matt Yoakum.
Bill, Dave Blaney would like to pull off a Jerry Nadeau, scores first career win here in this fall event in Atlanta. He led 70 laps back in the spring, but you failed to win the race. No place owes you one, but do you have a head start here because of March?
Well, I think so. I think we had a great car in the spring, and I think we just kind of built on that this weekend. Qualified good, ran good yesterday, so I think if we can just be mistake-free here today, we'll be in the hunt for it.
Blaney hopes to be the 5th driver this year to score his first career win. To Marty Snyder.
Well, fresh off his first non-restrictor plate top 10 of the season, second at Homestead, Michael Waltrip. I like the confidence I see in you lately. You started the year with a win. Can you finish it that way?
That would be great. We always run real well here at Atlanta. I took the lead a couple years ago in that 7 car and just led the first 50 or 60 laps. I like this track. Napa Auto Parts is sponsoring the race, and of course they're sponsoring my little Chevy, so we're pretty optimistic that we can have a great day. Slugger and all the boys have done a great job. Say hello to Steve Park back at home and my mom, and tell everybody to see them tonight.
And he starts 5th, and they are fast. Dave?
In NASCAR racing, Dale Earnhardt was known as the man. Kevin Harvick was known as the kid. But here on March 11th, he became a man, you could say, because he won a Winston Cup stock car race in Dale Earnhardt's race car. Kevin, how big was that?
Well, I mean, that was huge under the circumstances. Obviously, everything that everybody at RCR was going through, and even the whole sport. I mean, that was pretty big for all of us, and that was my first Winston Cup win, which is something I can only do once. So we're going to hopefully do the same thing with this GM Goodwrench car today. We're starting a little bit further back, but it's always more fun to pass cars than it is to stay out front.
Well, and then that will make him very happy. That's his new nickname, Happy Harvick. He starts 38th, Bill.
Thank you, Dave, and thank you to all of you. It's been a pleasure working my summer job right here on the wagon, and we've still got 1 more week to go. But right now, the race to the championship is squarely in the spotlight. And here to call it for you, 3 men who also have the responsibility of keeping the champagne on ice, whatever's left. Alan Bestwick, Benny Parsons, and Wally Dallenbach.
Well, I'm sure they have plenty of it for what would be a championship celebration this afternoon here, Bill. First, let's talk about the race itself. Kevin Harvick edging out Jeff Gordon here in March was just the capper on what was a really exciting race. We're going to see more of that today?
You know, I watched that race, the spring race this week, and it was a terrific race. 5 or 6 cars battling for the lead, and I don't see any reason why we won't see the same thing today, because this racetrack lends itself to great racing. You don't have to worry about getting down that bottom groove in the corners, because if you want to pass some guy, just simply go out. You can run 2, 3 wide in the corners here.
After last week's race down in Homestead, in which Dodges claimed 4 of the top finishing spots, 4 of the top 6 finishing spots, NASCAR took something away from the Dodges and gave something to the Fords. What happened, and how's that going to affect today's race?
You're right, Alan. First of all, earlier this year, NASCAR gave 2.5-inch more kick out for the Dodges on their nose. What that meant was more downforce. The car was better in traffic. They took 1 inch of that away. They also gave the Fords a 1/2 inch on their nose, but I think a lot of those 4 teams were cheating more than that, so I don't think that's going to make much of a difference for the Fords. I think it will hurt the Dodges a little bit in traffic.
So we've got a lot of things to keep track of today. We've got the championship. How will the rule change affect things? What's going to happen on pit road? The opening ceremony is next from Atlanta. A Bill Elliott win last Sunday and beautiful weather this weekend have brought a huge crowd out to the Atlanta Motor Speedway, where the Napa 500 begins shortly. Let's go trackside for the opening ceremony.
Our Father in heaven, we thank you for assembling us on this beautiful day, great state of Georgia and the land of the free. We ask for your blessings of protection upon the fans as well upon the participants today. We ask, Father, that your presence will be very real to us as we recognize that each of us are under your authority today. We ask these things in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
And now please welcome Columbia recording artist Montgomery Gentry for the singing of our national anthem.
the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. In the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Land of the free, and the home of the
Montgomery Gentry, ladies and gentlemen, Montgomery Gentry with our national anthem. And now for those most famous words in motorsports, Baseball Hall of Famer Phil Negro.
Gentlemen, start your engines. Thank you, Phil Negro.
500 miles of racing in the circuit's fastest track begin in a moment. The starting lineup for the Napa 500 is next.
NBC's coverage of the NASCAR Winston Cup Napa 500 is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Napa, we keep America running. By Dodge, you can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Dodge. By new Pepsi Twist. Pepsi and Diet Pepsi with a twist of lemon. And by Goodyear, reminding you to take all your journeys on the wings of Goodyear.
96,000 on hand on a beautiful Georgia day to see the Napa 500 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Cars starting to roll from the speedway, and let's give you a tour around what is now the circuit's fastest track. It's Thunder Motion with BP, powered by EA Sports, NASCAR Thunder 2002.
Very, very fast speedway here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Coming off turn 4 to start our run, the would-be 2001 champion, Jeff Gordon, right in front. Down in turn 1, you want to keep the car on the bottom of the racetrack when the tires are cool. When they get worn, you can go up the racetrack. It's not a problem. As you see those guys in front, give Jeff a little bumper.
Wow.
That's not good, BP.
That's not good, BP.
And I'll have people mad at me if I hit Jeff Gordon. Same thing at 3 and 4. You can go down the bottom of the racetrack, or if it gets too slippery there, move up the racetrack. It really doesn't matter. But anyway, I beat Jeff Gordon down back to the start-finish line.
EA Sports NASCAR Thunder 2002, now available in stores. Budweiser, the official beer of NASCAR, is the proud sponsor of the Bud Pole Award given to the fastest qualifier at each NASCAR Winston Cup race, Dale Earnhardt Jr. Second time this season, he's the Bud Pole Award winner. 18 drivers now qualified for next February's Bud Shootout at Daytona. Since 1979, Anheuser-Busch has awarded more than $7 million as the title sponsor of NASCAR's Pole Award program. And now the Walmart starting grid for today's Napa 500. Earnhardt Jr. looking for his 4th win of the season on the front row with Mark Martin, winless in 60 races. Dave Blaney in row 2 with Ward Burton. Blaney's best ever Winston Cup qualifying. Ward finished 3rd here last November.
Qualifying on the inside of the 3rd row is Michael Waltrip, his best Atlanta start ever, and Bill Elliott, last week's winner, on the outside. In row 4, great qualifying run for Kevin LePage, still looking for a ride for next year, and Johnny Benson.
5th row, Stacy Compton has failed to qualify for this race the last 2 years. He's in the top 10 now, and Joe Nemechek, the Rockingham winner. In row 6, Hutch Strickland making his debut for Bill Davis Racing in a Dodge. 3rd effort for that team. Tony Stewart, fastest in final practice.
On the inside of row 7 is Ricky Craven. Best Atlanta finish is 12th. And Todd Bodine on the outside had a 3rd place here 7 years ago. On the inside of row 8 is Elliott Sadler. Let's try talking to Elliott. Elliott, Benny Parsons, you got me?
Yes, sir, BP, loud and clear.
When I walked through the garage here this morning, your guys said your car was very, very good. You got a heck of a chance to win.
I think we do. We made a couple changes right there at the end of happy hour. Made this Motorcraft Ford Taurus really comfortable. Man, it's a beautiful day here in Atlanta. The old B-1 bomber just flew across, got everybody fired up, so looking forward to a good day.
But Elliott, if you win, you know you won't be able to go deer hunting tomorrow, so think about that.
Oh, no, BP. We're going to go deer hunting tomorrow no matter what. We just might get there a little later, so definitely looking forward to starting deer season in the morning, but definitely want to get to victory lane like our truck driver did on Friday, winning the Truck Drivers Award. Barry Shepard. Want to say congratulations to him, and hope you'll have a good day for Motorcraft and everybody aboard this car.
Good luck, Elliott. Thanks.
Thank you, BP.
Elliott Sadler in the Wood Brothers car going to come from 15th starting spot. Continuing our look at the starting lineup, Mike Wallace and Kyle Petty back in row number 16. And look at this, Dale Jarrett qualified way back in row 17. He's never qualified outside the top 10 since the track was laid out in this manner.
And there was his teammate, Ricky Rudd, took a provisional alongside March's winner, Kevin Harvick. Bobby Labonte, last year's champion back in provisional land, and Kenny Schrader.
Labonte considered the Atlanta Master. And Jerry Nadeau, defending winner of this race. Very fast in final practice. Going to be fun watching him come from row 21. And Terry Labonte brings up the rear of the field. Failed to qualify. Look at that list. Ron Hornaday, Robbie Gordon, Jason Leffler, his final ride in that 01 car. It was tough here on Friday in Bud Pole qualifying. Final stories from pit road. Let's go to Matt Yoakum.
Alan, 4 drivers who won in 2000 are still winless in 2001, and Terry Labonte couldn't pick a worse racetrack to try to end his losing streak that dates back to 1999. He hasn't led a lap in 39 consecutive events. They brought a brand new race car to Atlanta, hoping to go to victory lane. They qualified 43rd. New car blues. They made wholesale changes, hoping to hit upon something today and get Labonte his first career Atlanta victory. To Dave Burns.
Matt, it was announced this weekend that Jimmy Spencer will not drive this 26 car next year. He'll drive another car. But it was known a couple of weeks ago by several important people, including his crew chief, Donnie Wingo. And Donnie and Jimmy had a conversation. Donnie said to Jimmy, you know what? Now that you're leaving our team, are we going to race the rest of the season? We're just going to hang around. And Jimmy said, we are going to race. Last week, they ran in the top 10 all day. And here at Atlanta, he is not bad. His best finish is 4th, and he hopes he can take home a win before he leaves the Travis Carter Racing team. To Marty.
Well, Dave, Atlanta is not Tony Stewart's best track. In fact, his best finish is 11th in his first start here. So the team decided to test here a couple of weeks ago, and they discovered several things, including the setup underneath the car right now, and the results are amazing. They are very fast and very consistent. But Greg Zippodelli just told me, hey, we've been fast the last 5 weeks, and we don't have a win to show for it. Today, we must close the deal. To Bill Weber.
Marty, in our interview with Jeff Gordon on Friday, in which we ran in the pre-race show, he told us that he thinks fans might have gotten the wrong idea how hard their team was trying after their performance at Rockingham. It's not that they were trying hard, it's that they might have been trying too hard. He didn't want people to think they were protecting their points. Instead, they put that car on the ragged edge to try and get it into victory lane. Unfortunately for them, it didn't work out. Then they had some bad luck and a bad call last week at Homestead. But today, Gordon and this entire team has come here with one mission in mind: to win the race and then take home the championship. A moment ago, car owner Rick Hendrick jumped on the radio and said, "I'm proud of everyone on this team, Jeff and everyone else." Jeff was next on the radio, thanked his car owner and his crew, and then crew chief Robbie Loomis also thanked Rick Hendrick for the opportunity to pull off what they're hoping to pull off here today. Alan?
All right, Bill, thank you. Final lap behind the pace car before we go green here in the Napa 500. Facts and figures on the day. Going to take 325 laps around this 1.54-mile oval to make up the distance.
And racing for over $4 million. Wow.
Pit window, 55 to 65 laps. That's a little shy of 100 miles here.
And we will see the cars run all over the racetrack, because there's going to be quite a drop-off between the first few laps on these tires and lap 50 or 60. You'll slow down considerably.
And another thing that's really tricky here, VP, is this place is really tough when you're starting out with low pressures, because you're going so fast around here. The car has a lot of wiggle at these speeds until you get the tires up to the pressure. So the first few laps are pretty anxious. Until you get some heat build up in these tires, the cars are really nervous.
Jeff Gordon qualified back in 24th spot. He's in the middle of the traffic. He's going to finish 32nd or better today to claim the title this afternoon. He needs to get through and make sure there's no early incident in front of him from back in the middle of the field.
Walking through the garage here this morning, you asked the guys who's going to win. 25, Jerry Nadeau is the name that you heard most frequently. He's starting way back near the end of the field.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Mark Martin lead the field down to the start of the Napa 500. Jr. leads. Mark Martin slides into second. Dave Blaney is third. Ward Burton fourth. Here comes Tony Stewart outside of Michael Waltrip.
Trying to pass on the outside after yesterday afternoon in happy hour. He only ran on the bottom. I said he's dedicated to the bottom. Obviously, that's not the case.
Dave Blaney for second on Mark Martin. Got it. Blaney led 70 laps, looked like a potential winner here in March. Had a pit road problem, took him out of a chance to win. Earnhardt Jr. leads to lap 3. Is Tony Stewart flying.
He is really going somewhere. But I tell you, Dave Blaney, that 93 car, is also going somewhere. As we ride along with Bill Elliott and watching that battle between Ward Burton, the 22 car, and Tony Stewart.
Tony started 12th. He just took 4th from Ward Burton. Johnny Benson kind of up the hill there at the back end of that group. Like he lost a couple of spots in that exchange. Benson slipping back to 11th. He started 8th. There's Todd Bodine. That light blue 66 car having a good run early.
And here comes Blaney. And he's doing it in the right place, right in front of this huge crowd at the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
New leader. And that's one of the lame ducks brigade. Drivers that are going someplace else next season, but they're sure not scrimping on their effort here. Where's Jeff Gordon at?
16th the last time by, moved up from the 24th starting position. And Junior loses another spot as Mark gets on the inside, takes the spot away. Dave, what is said about Mark Martin in his pit?
Well, Mark may have lost a position or two at the start, but he just radioed into his crew chief, Jimmy Frenig, pretty dang good. So I think Mark's happy.
And they made some changes on that car this morning. And you know, when they threw the green flag after changing springs and shocks, there's always that wonder what's going to happen.
Bill Elliott in the 9 car. Moving up, 6th place.
And Mark Martin, something happened to Mark off turn 4. He's slow.
He wouldn't have just decided to go follow Tony Stewart, would he?
No, I think that
look at the left rear corner of his car. Does it look like something's wrinkled up there?
Yes.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Now, that's why he went up the racetrack.
Wow.
He's got the back mark, got an arrow loose there, and
on board with Dale Earnhardt Jr. And
I'll get back to it here.
See, Junior didn't hit him until he got a little bit loose and had to squeeze off the throttle. When Mark did that, that's when Junior ran the back of him.
So we'll put that in under nice save, Mark.
very nice save. And that's probably going to affect Mark's car a little bit, I would think, BP. I don't know what that thing's sailing out there in the left rear behind that left rear tire. We'll have to keep an eye on it.
Second place, Tony Stewart on the move again. Started 12th.
And talking to Greg Zipadelli, the crew chief on this 20 car, you could just feel the confidence that he had this morning about how well they were going to run.
But while Stewart has moved to second, he is 2.6 seconds behind Dave Blaney, the early leader in the Napa 500 in Atlanta. Hey! Here's our Wendy's race menu. The final event of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series season is Friday. 12 noon Eastern Time, the New Hampshire 300 presented by Behind Enemy Lines. Might be a little chilly in the old flat mile oval, but I'll tell you what, it's going to be a great race. Final event of the season, nothing left to do but win. And we look down on our Atlanta Motor Speedway, courtesy of the United States Army, an Army of one. Dave Blaney is the leader.
But New Hampshire will be warm inside those race cars, just as it is right now.
Hasn't been all that bad up there. It's been in the 40s and some in the 50s.
Whoa!
Carl Long's in trouble. Off of turn 2.
Then on the backtrack. Caution down.
Lap 16, first yellow of the race. Carl was running
about 29th to 30th the last time by.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of damage to that Dodge, so
it's going to be tough.
Yes, it is.
Third start of the season for Carl. And Dave Blaney brings the field back around to the caution flags.
And Dave Blaney says, shucks. Darn it. Darn it.
Let's take a look at what happened off turn number 2.
Well, he's right in the middle of everything right here. Well, he just lost it all by himself. He may have had not a whole lot of air on that car in that group of cars, but car just got away from him. I would say, I don't know, BP. I know 18 may have taken a little bit of air off him, but
well, I think he had cars on the outside and cars behind him, just kind of the worst situation you can get yourself in.
Harvick inside, Mike Wallace outside. Watch these close calls.
definitely got behind on his steering.
Which way do I go? Which way do I go? Okay.
I'm inside the Interstate Batteries Pontiac of Bobby Lamont. This ought to be interesting. Wow.
That was pretty close.
That is so close. The Goodrich Chevrolet of Kevin Harvick. And here they all come down pit road. Interesting to see how this new exit on pit road is going to work for these cars.
First stops at lap number 18. So far, everyone is pitted except Terry Labonte. Dave?
And Mark Martin decided to stay out. We'll check on that. He did say that the car was a little bit loose. Let's go to Bill Weber.
In fact, the top 3 cars stayed out, but not Jeff Gordon. When the caution came out, it goes, woo! This car is excellent. We're fast. It's 4 tires, no changers. He has 2 tire carriers, both wearing helmets. Marty?
Dale Earnhardt Jr. with 4 tires and will not win the race on pit road by a bunch. He pushes in. They fix that with air pressure. He is loose off. They fix that with track bar. To Matt.
Kevin Harvick gambled with a 2-tire strategy. He said he was loose in and tied off. They took 2 tires because he came in 30th trying to gain some track position.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how that works. I don't know that 2 tires is going to work very well.
Everybody I talked to, BP this morning, said that the 2-tire thing wasn't really a good gamble, but we'll have to see how it works out. But times really fell off, and everybody seemed to think that they were going to need 4.
5 drivers stayed out. Dave Blaney, Tony Stewart, Mark Martin, Terry Labonte, and Lance Cooper were under caution in Atlanta.
Life is filled with choices. Would you rather do this or this? This or this? Or how about this? Watch as the world's most daring cowboys try to tame one of nature's fiercest beasts. The Bud Light Professional Bull Riders World Challenge. Live next Sunday at 4 Eastern on NBC.
Man, you want to talk about a bad handling ride.
That bull saw me coming and lay down.
See the sticker on the hood of Matt Kenseth's car? Watch the Bulls win the tools. Promotion with folks at DeWalt and NBC. November 25th, PBR World Challenge.
You know, there's a rule change there. They added 1.5 inches to Dillinger the Bull's horn, so the guys aren't too happy about that.
Dave Burns?
I can tell you what, guys, Michael Gaffney, the G-Man they call him, and all the rest of the professional bull riders are pumped up about being on live network television for the first time next week. But I know about 3,400-pound race cars. What's it like to ride a 2,000-pound bull?
Well, after seeing this for the first time ever, Dave, I'm ecstatic. I've never been much of a race car fan, but this is a total thrill for me.
And you wouldn't want to try this, would you?
I think I would. It's fit right in our game. This is pretty exciting, and seeing these fans is really kind of find out that we're growing, but this is really growth here.
What are the viewers going to see next week on the World Challenge, Michael? What's that going to be like on NBC?
Dave, it's our first time ever on network television. We formed the PBR in 1992, and that was our first goal back then, and we've grown really fast, but this is going to be a great thing for us. This has been, like I said, our goal since then, and we're just totally ecstatic for it, and it's going to be a great show. We think we have the up-and-coming NASCAR of the now, and with NBC and all our sponsors, I think it's just going to be a great show, a great family entertainment.
And Wally, Michael promised me all the bulls will be ill handling.
Yeah, I bet they will. That's a lot of fun to watch at TBA. That is really cool stuff.
New leader, Tony Stewart.
His car's not ill handling.
Jeff Gordon, really rolling. He's up to 10th.
10th spot.
So what was that you said at the top of the show? Well, you've said it actually the last 3 weeks. He wants to win the race. Maybe they mean it this time.
Oh, they really mean it this time. Hey, they got their game face on down in that 24 garage area and pit area.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. trying to move by Michael Waltrip. Had to be for 5th place. So, it's Elliott 4th, Earnhardt Jr. 5th. Mark Martin's car couldn't have been damaged that badly. He's hanging right in there in 3rd and didn't stop for tires. Dave, how about the decision not to pit there?
Well, Alan, first of all, Mark did radio in that the car was a little bit loose getting into the corners now. Jimmy Finnegan's crew chief and Mark talked about coming in, and then they indicated that they were sort of 50-50 on it, like they might have screwed up, but they're not too bad for staying out. So right now, Mark's got what he's got, just a little bit loose getting into the corner.
And here comes Jeff Gordon. He took him 3 wide off turn 4.
Inside of Todd Bodine for 7th, looking for 6th on Michael Waltrip.
And they're going to be 3 wide off the 2nd corner. Oh, and Michael throwing the dust. Bill? Those guys got to be happy in that 24 pit.
They're thrilled, and the man that is most thrilled is their driver. Extremely pleased with the way his car is handling Benny, is convinced he can get to the front, got help on pit road, 13.98 seconds from 14th to 11th on the pit stop.
Third place, changing hands. Dale Earnhardt Jr. by Bill Elliott.
And here comes Jeff Gordon on the inside of Todd Bodine. That's fifth.
Sterling Marlin following Gordon stride for stride up through the traffic. Williams race chase, interval from Gordon in fifth up to the leader, Tony Stewart. Here's Joe Nemechek on Michael Waltrip.
Ward Burton, the 22 car, had fallen back. He was up in the top 10. He's still in 10th spot. He's fallen back to 13th to 14th. He's now working his way back towards the front.
Matt Kenseth, Ricky Craven, Joe Nemechek there. Dale Jarrett in that group also.
Mark has really slipped back there.
Sterling Marlin working on a spot there. Here comes Dale Earnhardt Jr. on Blaney for second. Remember, Blaney did not stop the tires under the caution.
And about right now, he's saying, shucks.
Him and Mark both.
And Tony Stewart.
This is sixth place. Sterling Marlin in the 40, Todd Bodine in the 66.
Tony Stewart's turn to say, aw, shucks.
New tires against old. Not much of a contest.
Well, they've all learned a lesson, that's for sure, by what they just did. Nobody's going to be doing that again.
So Dale Earnhardt Jr. goes back to the point for the second time in the race. He led the first 5 circuits. And now in lap 30, he's back out front. Here comes Bill Elliott. This is for third place on Dave Blaney. Elliott gets to the front. You're going to hear a roll. It'll make these grandstands shake.
Bill Elliott, a native of Georgia. Grew up a couple hours north of Atlanta.
And he goes by Dave Blaney to get third. Elliott, a 5-time winner here in Atlanta. Gordon takes a spot from Blaney.
Jeff Gordon right now is just in the absolute perfect spot. He doesn't have to. If he gets a chance to pass these guys, he will. He got a chance to pass Bill Elliott, he will. But there's no real rush to chase these guys down. He's in the perfect spot right now.
Yeah. So Gordon to third. Behind Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Tony Stewart. Early in the going in the Napa 500 in Atlanta, you're watching NASCAR on NBC. The Napa 500 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, second to last race of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series season for 2001. And looking down on this massive mile-and-a-half track from the Budweiser.com airship. Brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of NASCAR. This spot's for you, race fans.
A battle for the 5th spot. Both these cars owned by Bill Davis. Ward Burton, the 22 car, trying to take it away from Blaney, and he will do it.
So Dave Blaney not stopping under the caution flag, having older tires than these cars that are overtaking him, causing him to slip back.
Well, someone used the comment last week, going to a gunfight with a knife. Well, that's what Blaney's got right now. He's going to a gunfight with a knife, trying to keep these guys behind him. Marty, what about the Davis guys? What are they saying?
Well, Dave Blaney was loose on the last one. They decided not to come down pit road. As you mentioned, Benny, now he's starting to shove the nose in the middle, which means it's pushing, and now the loose condition is even worse off the corner. Dave said it's starting to get uncomfortable. You mentioned that Ward Burton, his teammate, who has now passed him, fell back a little bit. Ward was letting his tires come in. Now that they have come in, he's moving to the front.
There's another guy moving to the front.
And BP, that high line, especially in 1 and 2, looks like it's the fastest way around here, which usually down low is better.
Jeff Gordon passed Tony Stewart for second during the commercial break a moment ago. Here he comes for the lead.
Ooh. Oh. I think Junior thought about using that high line, but wisely decided not to do that, and Jeff Gordon goes to the front.
Just past 50 miles, and Gordon puts himself to the point. Now, what that means for the championship is that now he just needs to finish 31st or better to wrap up the title today, because he's got the 5 bonus points for leading.
And Bill Elliott going by Tony Stewart, taking over the 3rd spot. And Tony Stewart got him a bug.
Yeah,
big red bug.
Yes.
That's kind of gruesome, wasn't it?
Tell you what, Tony Stewart's hanging in. Tony Stewart is hanging in very, very well, having not pitted.
Yeah, Tony probably at the front of this thing if he would have put some more fresh tires on.
Problem for Stewart and Blaney right now, we're coming up on lap 50. They can only go about 55 or so before they're going to have to pit. And if they don't get another caution, that could be big.
Yep. They will definitely go a lap plus down.
Ricky Craven in the 32 car is on the move. Started 13th. He's just taken 6th from Ward Burton. Martinsville winner earlier in this fall in that 32 car.
Alan, I think your batteries in your computer are getting weak again, because I think that Jeff Gordon before the race had to run 32nd or better. I think now it's about 33rd or better.
I read it out of the press release, Benny. That's all I know. I didn't do the math on that one.
I thought his computer was going down again. DJ, you know, he has started in the back, near the back, and has worked his way up to the 10th spot.
Started 33rd.
Wow, great run. Junior's hanging in there pretty tough with Jeff Gordon.
Trying to. But the would-be champion is out in front of the Napa 500. 4th different driver to lead on the day. You're watching NASCAR on NBC.
Yeah, you know I like the way you slide, I still hear the voice. Oh, baby, can't you see that ain't no
Log on now to NASCAR.com and check out the Conseco NASCAR Fantasy Challenge. Pick your own team of drivers and see how you match up against other fantasy teams. Log on today and you might just win a replica of the number 14 Conseco Winston Cup Pontiac. Coming up on 50 laps, complete in the Napa 500. Jeff Gordon is the leader. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is second. Ricky Craven has just taken 3rd from Bill Elliott.
It looks like Tony Stewart is able to keep up with Elliott, and it looks to me like he's getting a little bit closer, even though he hasn't stopped and changed tires.
All right, BP, let's straighten this out once and for all. It is 34th or better now that Gordon has led a lap.
Thank you.
Next time I'll do my own math and make sure it's right. Go ahead, Wally. I can see you bite your tongue on that one.
And the big thing is Tony Stewart, as they run right now, has moved into the 2nd spot.
Yep. Ricky Rudd is running pretty deep in the field.
He's 28.
Yep.
The 28 car is 28. Tony Stewart, meanwhile, is 5th.
But Tony's got some problems. That lap counter that just clicked over to 52, upper left of your screen, he and Dave Blaney and the other guys who did not stop are going to be coming to pit road under green very quickly.
And then all they can do is hope that the other cars don't catch that caution flag. They've got to make a green flag pit stop as well.
Stewart started the race back in the 12th position, very quickly moved through, took the lead, led for 8 laps. Now has been shuffled back by some cars with fresher tires. And within the next 2 or 3 or 4 laps, we should be seeing him come to pit road. He may get Bill Elliott for a spot first. This has been such a brutal track on Tony Stewart. Best finish here is 11th. looking not quite. He's failed to finish the last 3 straight Atlanta races. And we're still very early today, but he's sure looking as good as he's looked. Here he comes. That's Lance Hooper in that 47. They're putting a lap down. That's an Andy Petrie Racing R&D car.
Tony Stewart goes by Elliott and takes over the 4th spot.
And he is 5.9 seconds behind leader Jeff Gordon.
Turn is really good. It's just trying to get the rush in that middle. Just looks to slide that nose a little bit too much.
Listening to Jeff Gordon's radio as we go through the field and check in on how some of the top runners are doing in the early going. Bill Weber.
Well, Alan, obviously you had Jeff Gordon doing very well. 24th to 1st, called it a few minutes ago. Said the car's pushing just a little bit. It was tight when he went back out. Gordon 24th to the leader of the race. Marty.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. a little loose, or tied in, a little loose off. He said the car is really good, and these guys have not had a top 10 in the last 3 races. Remember, he pitted last time and made the adjustments he needed. Bill?
Another outstanding start for Ricky Craven. Can he put together another finish? Mike Dean said it's 4 tires on a very good car. Ricky Craven running 3rd. Marty?
Tony Stewart will have to pit in about 4 laps at lap 60. That's the plan right now. The car is good. They plan no adjustments. They've had 3 top 10s in the last 4 races. Behind him is Bill Elliott, who's running very well, the Homestead winner is. He was asked by his crew, how's the car? He said, I'll get back to you in a few minutes. That was 10 minutes ago. The car's running really well. Dave?
Marty, before the first round of pit stops, the car of Sterling Marlin was loose. They made a wedge adjustment. He has been all quiet since that time. Marty?
Ford Burton started loose on this run. Now it's tightened up, and he is very happy with the chassis. They want to make one adjustment to make him better on this longer run. Behind him is teammate Dave Blaney. Or Dave?
And Matt Kenseth in the 17 car was tight. They made an air pressure adjustment. They started 23rd. He has made his way up to the 8th position now. Marty?
Oh, he started talking about Dave Blaney, then he got passed by Matt Kenseth. Go figure that. Dave, really loose. He just radioed to the crew. The car is starting to feel uncomfortable. We need to make some big adjustments on this stop. Dave?
Speaking of big adjustments, Marty, that was what they needed on the 2 car of Rusty Wallace. He was loose. They made a track bar adjustment. Now he's a little tight. I guess they made a really big adjustment. Matt?
Dale Jarrett just dropped from 10th to 11th. It feels like he's better in 3 and 4 than 1 and 2. In the final practice session, they tried to mimic Jeff Gordon's line because they liked the way Gordon's car looked up in the banking. Meanwhile, the 18 car, Bobby Labonte, 4-time winner here in Atlanta. He had to restart back in 42nd after they had to make a second pit stop because they had a loose lug nut on the left front. Started 42nd. He's climbed up to 12th. He likes the car, just tighten traffic.
Ricky Craven going for 2nd spot. And folks, you want to see a high line? That's a high line. And takes that spot away.
Cars that are being able to use that high line are the cars up front. Jeff Gordon, the 32 car Ricky Craven, those guys are really high, especially in 1 and 2. It's working for them.
Craven started back in 13th. Runner-up position now at lap number 60. 3.2 seconds behind Jeff Gordon, the leader, is where Ricky Craven runs now. This is for 5th place. Sterling Marlin coming up on Bill Elliott. This chassis Sterling Marlin is using has never finished worse than 5th in any race that they've used it in.
I think this is the car that they won the race in Charlotte with.
That's correct.
The 40 car, talking about the 40 car, Sterling. And Mark Martin is on pit road, Dave.
Benny, Mark Martin had a great race car this weekend. He qualified 2nd, and he was in a really good mood, but unfortunately that contact with Jale Jr. put him in a bad mood. His car is very loose now. They're going to make a big chassis adjustment, put on 4 tires and fuel. This is about as long as they could go on a fuel run here at lap number 61. They will finish the process and send him back out on the track.
Looks like Tony Stewart's making his way on the pit road as well. And Dave Blaney tried to pit the last time, and I think he missed pit road.
Meantime, this is for 4th place. Marlin gets it. Marty?
Tony Stewart comes down pit road very slowly, Alan. Remember, they are in a big battle in the points. They're trying to pass Ricky Rudd for second. Currently, Stewart is 59 points behind. The team is very cognizant of that today. He wants to know where Ricky Rudd is on the racetrack. They want to try and pass him today, so they have a margin for error at New Hampshire next week. It will be a 4-tire stop for Tony Stewart, and it will be no adjustments as Dave Blaney also comes down pit road. Stewart leads. Blaney missed pit road. You were right, Benny, last time. The car very loose for Blaney. They will make an air pressure adjustment, trying to help him out a little bit, and he said the car very uncomfortable at the end of that run.
And poor Dave Blaney, twice he had trouble getting on pit road. The first time, he just totally missed pit road, had to make another lap, and almost missed pit road the second time by. So there goes Jeff Gordon by, but Blaney, I guess, 2 laps down.
Well, I mean, the second time was weird. You didn't see it on screen, but while we were watching the Stewart pit stop, but he had the brakes locked up and the smoke boiling. It was like he wasn't getting all out of the brake pedal he was looking for.
You're right, Alan. I don't understand that, because you know if you miss it the first time, you're going to be a lot more careful coming in the second time, and he actually looks like he locked the brakes up coming in even the second time.
Go back and take a look at that second attempt at pit road on Dave Blaney.
See, he's already going slow. It's not, he's got a lot of front brake in that car by the looks of it. And that's maybe why he missed it the first time, BP. If you got too much front brake, the car won't turn.
Well, that's exactly what he did the first time. Smoked up, because when I looked up, I thought someone had spun when Martin was on pit road. It was the same situation. The 93 car locking up those front brakes. Oh, look at Jeff. That's a high line, too. He's up there against that wall.
So Blaney and Mark Martin are both 2 laps down now by being as far behind the leader as they were when they pitted, and Blaney having his problems. Tony Stewart is 1 lap down in 39th, and hoping the rest of these guys have to come in before the yellow flag waves. Pins and needles time for Stewart and his crew.
Oh, wow. That was close.
Jr.'s not leaving a lot of room for error today. We saw that little run-in he had with Mark Martin earlier. And
well, once Blaney gets some temperature in these tires, he should be able to pass these guys and move on, and maybe get at least one of those laps back under the green here.
He's not that far behind Jeff Gordon to get one of them back. He's overtaken the second-place car there of Ricky Craven. Marty?
Well, James, Robin Barker is his crew chief, and what happened when he missed pit road, and then the second time looked like he had too much front brake in?
We possibly could. The first time he just got in a little hot and had to go all the way around. We got tires on it now. As long as we don't get a caution, we'll be fine.
All right, Robin Barker acting as the crew chief this week. Normally, Scott Wimmer's crew chief in the NASCAR Busch Series. They have done a great job all weekend. He told Dave on the radio, be very calm. You have the best car here. Take care of it. Race the racetrack.
And Jeff Gordon continues to lead, and Blaney is closing in on Jeff Gordon. But right now, both Craven and Dale Earnhardt Jr. are faster than Jeff Gordon.
You see the gap, Gordon, Blaney, then Craven, the second-place car. Leaders all stopped at lap 18.
So they got to sweat it out for another
8-9 laps.
Yeah.
So Blaney gets one of his laps back from Jeff Gordon, but he's still back in 40th position right now. Gordon, Craven, Earnhardt Jr., Marlin, and Elliott, the leaders in the Napa 500.
NBC's coverage of the NASCAR Winston Cup Napa 500 is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Napa, we keep America running. By Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you. By 1-800-CALL-ATT for collect calls. And by the Home Depot, the official home improvement warehouse of NASCAR.
New leader Ricky Craven. He and Dale Earnhardt Jr. have just overtaken Jeff Gordon moments ago. Benny Parsons, I'm here to pronounce to you, is semi-computer literate. Got a racing question you'd like to ask BP? Log on to NBCSports.com and leave it there for him. Of course, his wife Terry has to help him retrieve them and send the answers back, but...
Semi is a very good word when you talk about me and a computer.
NBCSports.com. Here's the pass for the lead. A minute ago, Ricky Craven and Dale Jr. by Jeff Gordon.
Gets on the inside, going in turn 3. And Jeff Gordon really didn't fight very, very hard because Craven's down. Look at Jeff, right to the top of the track. Craven goes down the bottom. And as I said, Jeff didn't really fight that too hard.
Well, the car looks like it really got tight there in the center, and that's what he'd been complaining about earlier. He's on pit road.
4 tires, guys.
How about it, Bill? Here comes 24.
And while his car's been just a little bit tight, he could have stayed out a little longer on fuel, but they learned on the first run how good this car is, so they don't want to take any chances. This is 4 tires, a slight air pressure adjustment to help the car, try and prevent it from getting so tight. Gordon knows he has a good car, wants to see if he can get it to the finish line first. At the end of the race, he's on his way.
Great pit stop. Matt, 99's in.
And Jeff Burton in for his service. He came in 21st, one-rounder wedge in the left rear. He said his car was tight in the middle and loose off. They've been struggling all weekend. His biggest problem, entry into turn 3 to Bill Weber.
Ricky Rudd is on pit road. His entire pit crew wearing helmets, most of them wearing skateboard helmets. His car has not been that good early in the race. It's a track bar adjustment, then 4 tires in fuel. They've taken some guys from the 10 Busch team and got a jackman out of semi-retirement to pit the car this week.
Leader Ricky Craven is in. You see him leaving his pit stall in the 32 car. Michael Waltrip's in. Marty?
And remember, he took 2 tires last time, Alan. They picked up a very bad push. It will be 4 tires, and Slugger Labby says, I won't take 2 tires ever again. The rear tire changer kind of fell down when he came across to Dave Burns.
And the 40 car of Sterling Marlin, they said they were good. They're going to make a 4-tire change, no adjustment, and a full load of fuel for Sterling Marlin. Great pit stop. Marty?
Bill Elliott is very good, and he is in pit road. A little bit loose. They will make an air pressure adjustment, trying to tighten up Bill Elliott just a little bit, and it will be a 4-tire stop for last week's winner at Homestead and the hometown boy.
And I see that Ray Evernham has helmets on his pit crew. Attaboy, Ray.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. is still the leader. Here comes Rusty Wallace onto pit road. Kevin LePage, Kevin Harvick, Mike Wallace, Stacy Compton, all in for service. Dave?
Rusty Wallace is in there. He was a little tight. They made a track bar adjustment before, remember, and it was too severe. So it doesn't look like they're going to change him much right now. They are going to put on 4 tires and fill it full of fuel. Matt?
Dale Jarrett's car is stalled after a stop. His crew is trying to push him start. They all have helmets on, either hockey helmets from Nike or Simpson race helmets. His car still will not fire. His car was tight. They made a track bar adjustment. A lot of loss of time here on pit road for Dale Jarrett to Dave Burns.
Matt Kenseth having a good run as well, Matt. This time he was a little bit tight. Said they were going to make a wedge adjustment and also take some air pressure out of the right front tire to help Matt get around this track. He's gone.
Leaders in, Marty.
And Dale Earnhardt Jr. will come down pit road. He was very happy with the car on that last run, just a little bit tight. So what they're going to do on this stop is take a ½ pound out of the right front tire. Remember, he also is in a big points battle, trying to get 6th place. He wants to finish in the top 5. He's 32 behind Rusty Wallace for 6th in the points. A good stop going so far. They'll pull the tearaway away. A little smoke from the brake dust off of Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car. They drop the left side. He's on the track.
Very good pit stop. 14.5 seconds. Filling the car up with fuel.
Kyle Petty's the leader. Not yet made a pit stop. Looks like Buckshot Jones also has not yet stopped. And then it's going to cycle back around to Tony Stewart. Got his wish. No caution from the time he stopped to when everybody else had to come in. Well, the Grinch isn't going to like this. Jimmy Spencer, stop-and-go penalty, speeding on pit road. Here comes Kyle Petty now off the track onto pit road. There's the Grinch on board Spencer's car.
And obviously, Spencer was speeding as he was leaving pit road and not coming in. They penalize you while you're sitting in your pit if you penalize coming in, but leaving, you got to come back in for the penalty. Now right side are on. Crew goes around. Left side, 13, 14, 15. Okay, guys.
16 and a half. Not bad.
That one lap Kyle Petty led was the first time he's led a Winston Cup race since June 2000 at Pocono. Been a tough road rebuilding Petty Enterprises. Buckshot Jones is also leaving pit road. So that cycles the lead around to Tony Stewart. 5 seconds ahead of Jeff Gordon, then Ricky Craven, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Sterling Marlin. You'll have Bill Elliott 6th, Bobby Labonte 7th, Matt Kenseth 8th, Dave Blaney 9th, and Ward Burton 10th. So things working out there for Blaney, too. And also Mark Martin, who had done the not hit under the first caution. He's back on the lead lap in 15th place. Marty.
Well, Alan, so far things are working out for Dave Blaney, but he reported to his crew right after the pit stop they think they have a vibration. The vibration has not gone away, and they're pretty sure they left some lug nuts loose on one of the wheels. Also, look at his left front that they took off of the car. It is down to the cords right here, and that is usually a sign of running too much camber. Very aggressive camber setting. It makes your car fast, but it also wears out the left front tire.
You're talking about on the outside of the left front, Marty? Was that the outside or inside?
Benny, it is both the outside and the inside. There's a little bit on the outside, back over here in the back, but this would be the outside of the tire. There's a little bit on the inside as well.
Well, that's not camber. If it's wearing out outside and inside, that's just dragging that tire across the racetrack, and that's a problem we're going to see today.
Yeah, that normally... we thought we'd see a lot of wear on the inside because of the camber, like Benny said. A lot of guys run a camber left front that helps turn the car. It gives more grip in the front, but it also wears the tires out bad, just like what you've seen.
Blaney running in 11th, chasing Rusty Wallace here for 10th. Tony Stewart is the leader. Second time today he's been out in front of the Napa 500. We're back to Atlanta in a minute. Well, NASCAR on NBC comes to you from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. It's the Napa 500, second to last race of the NASCAR Winston Cup Series season, and we are at lap 92 of 325. Tony Stewart is the leader. Here's our Coca-Cola Racing family update. Pretty good day for the gang so far. Bobby Labonte, what a move up through the field he's made. Into the top 10. Dale Jarrett started in the back. Jeff Burton started in the back. Kyle Petty led briefly there in the exchange of green flag pit stops. Second, third, and fourth. Gordon, Craven, Dale Earnhardt Jr.
And they have fresher tires on than does Tony Stewart, so I would think that they'll be able to run him down. Ooh, Craven almost got the wall there. Last time by, they were a second and a half. This time, they're only 1 second behind the leader, Tony Stewart.
Really closing the gap fast on Stewart. Second half of this 2001 season for Ricky Craven's team has been terrific. A great improvement from what happened for them in the first half of the season. How come things got so much better in the late going, Ricky?
The second half, we've been able to finish the job. And in a lot of cases, the first half, we would run very fast with the Tide Ford, run top 5, top 10, but have something happen. And that was okay. I mean, it was painful at the time, but it was okay because the hardest part of this business is finding speed. And if you've got speed, then the rest of it will come if you're patient and you've got, good quality people, which we do. We just, this is a great group to race with.
Check this out. Mike Wallace is going to be in a sandwich in just a second. I thought Craven was going by on the outside. Jeff Gordon may be the guy in the sandwich.
Who's that down the bottom? Lance Cooper in the 47.
So Gordon loses second to Ricky Craven. He's about to lose third to Junior.
Mike Wallace is in 27th place. He's the first car 1 lap down. Bill, how about more on Ricky Craven?
Well, Alan, just to update his pit stop when he was in last time, the car's running very well. It was 4 tires and no fuel. Right now he's in that mess with Jeff Gordon, and Gordon telling his crew that he's just being patient here, making sure again, as we talked about earlier, that his car is around in the finish. Craven and Gordon, of course, very good friends. Gordon's car good. Craven is also, so watch both of them.
Look at Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Man, look at all these guys.
I thought they were going to come off 4 wide for the lead there with some of these lap cars a minute ago.
They're 3 wide. 2 of them, 3 wide. Mike Wallace sticking his nose between Andretti and Jr. Oh, man.
Whoa, John Andretti. When Craven snuck up behind him, a little arrow loose.
Looks like Ricky might have chosen the wrong line as Junior goes back to the second spot.
Looking down on this great action from our U.S. Army Skycam, courtesy of the United States Army, an Army of one. Dale Jr. to second. Ricky Craven squeezing Jeff Gordon in behind the yellow car. That's Hermie Sadler going a lap down.
Yeah, Jeff, like you said, he's been real smart, real safe right now. He's not going to force the issue.
Stacy Conklin there in the 92, the yellow and white car. Talked to those guys this morning. They were very, very happy with their race car. Thought they might have a chance to win today. Right now, trying to struggle to stay in the lead lap.
Yeah, he's just become the first car 1 lap down. He's in 25th place.
There goes Mark a lap down.
Dave, ever since he got that fender wrinkled up early, it's just not been the same race car.
Gone downhill from there, Alan. Remember, they stopped on lap 61. The car was very loose, and they made a wedge adjustment and changed 4 tires, but he's still loose. I just checked with Jack Roush, team owner, and he's still loose.
Boy, this is terrific action. Stewart going to bust out down low. Trying to get around the Bobby Hamilton. Oh, contact! The leader's into the side of him. At 190 miles an hour.
That got his attention, didn't it?
Got mine.
Got Alan's attention. Oh, Junior, that was there room down there? He made room on the inside of Mike Wallace.
By the way, that put Bobby Hamilton a lap down. He's back in 24th place. Marty, how about our leader?
Well, Stewart just came on the radio. He said, we got hit really hard on the right side. I don't know what happened there or why it happened. The spotter looked at the car. He said, it's clean. You have no tire rub. Forget about it.
Well, as long as it was tire to tire, he'll be okay. But if he bent that right front fender in, then that's going to be an issue.
Would that have shown up already, though, the handling? Wouldn't that have shown up in his lap times just already, if he bent it?
Probably going to show up more when he's got more laps on the tires.
It's bent.
Yeah.
Definitely bent.
So that could be an adventure as we wear on here. Keep an eye on that for Tony Stewart. Here comes Dale Jr. trying to put away the lap car of Mike Wallace.
And Mike in that 12 car desperately trying to stay in front of these guys. See, Junior's running high in 1 and 2, and on the bottom in 3 and 4.
But that's one of the great things about this racetrack, Benny, as you talked about in our opening comments, the fact that the layout, the shape, and the pavement allows you to use it all.
And, you know, I think that's exactly, this is the kind of racing we're going to see at the new Kansas and Chicagoland speedways in a year or two. When that pavement starts getting worn, I think this is exactly what we're going to see.
Didn't see this here in 97 when this track was first made out this shape and had fresh pavement. It took a couple years.
It was exactly like Kansas and Chicagoland.
Tony Stewart is leading Dale Earnhardt Jr. by about 3 car lengths in the Napa 500 from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. Back in Atlanta, we're under caution in the Napa 500 for the second time after a blown engine in Lance Hooper's car. Dale Earnhardt Jr. took the lead from Tony Stewart just before the yellow flag, and now he brings the field onto pit road. Dave Burns.
Sterling Marlin comes in now. His crew not wearing helmets today. A little bit loose on the 40 car for Sterling. They will make a track bar adjustment, fill and full of fuel and 4 tires. Bill?
It's a wedge adjustment on Jeff Gordon's car. 1 round, just a little bit tight. It's 4 tires and fuel. Make sure you get the windshield clean, he said. A lot of bucks, Marty.
Tony Stewart is here, Bill. The tire, the fender damage is not a concern. There will be 4 tires and no adjustments for Stewart. And a very fast stop for these guys as a collision on pit road between Ricky Craven and Jeff Gordon, sent Gordon into the grass.
Service already completed for Bobby Labonte. No chassis adjustments. They just went down on air pressure in all 4 tires. He said this set of tires felt a little more loose than the last set.
Bobby's been terrific in this race so far, and that 18 car started back in 39th spot. He's in the top 10.
He has a very, very good race car. And, you know, every time Jeff Gordon, it looks like, is running well, he has a collision on pit road.
Yep. Did he do any damage to the fenders?
That's a very good question.
I don't think so. I think he hit him far enough back where I don't think he got the front fender.
Let's go back and take a look at what happened.
Now just imagine a wall being there. If there would have been a problem, instead of being able to go in the grass like he does here, if there was a wall, that would have been real ugly.
I don't think they even touched, as a matter of fact. But you're right. Last week at Miami Homestead, he could have dodged that on the grass. They would certainly collide.
And this is the same situation that happened last week with 3 cars coming out of the pits, except they had no place to go. They made contact, and it shot Ward Burton's back to the left.
Right.
This time, they all had room to move to the right. So a close call for the would-be champion on the pit lane. He's running 4th now, under caution, in the Napa 500 at Atlanta. Just back underway in the Napa 500 at Atlanta. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has won the race off pit road. He leads Tony Stewart, Ricky Craven, Jeff Gordon, and Sterling Marlin. Let's mention that coming to that last yellow flag, Mike Wallace got a lap back. He's on the lead lap.
But the 92 car, Stacy Thompson, did not. Battle for the lead. Junior does not want to give it up. Marty, what's Tony Ure and the guys in Dale Jr.'s pit saying?
Well, they're very happy, Benny, and they nearly got into your wall at 13-1 on that stop, which is an outstanding stop, and that's pretty close to getting some money from you. He was a little tight on that last run as Tony Stewart dives underneath him on the racetrack, trying to get the lead. A little tight on that last run. This set of tires should be just a little bit looser.
Nobody wants to give.
Tony Stewart, he said, every time I try to pass someone or try to pass someone or someone tries to pass me, they always run side by side. Remember last week in Miami when he and Kevin Harvick ran side by side like this for 3 or 4 laps.
And Ricky Craven is real important in this situation right now, because if he moves up a little bit closer behind the next guy, he's either going to get him loose in the corner or he'll help draft the guy back down the straightaway.
Looks like Junior hung on.
And here comes Craven, going to try the inside on Stewart. 2nd place. Slide job and move up and shut that lane off.
That's it, baby. You the man.
That was pretty strong, BP.
Guys, don't look behind you, but that green car back there, Bobby Labonte, he's flying.
He really is fast. And look where he's running, right on the bottom of the racetrack, right down next to that white line.
He's passed Sterling Marlin for 5th since the restart. And remember, Bobby took a provisional to get into the race. He started in 39th place. Since the racetrack was reshaped this way in the middle of the 1997 season, hasn't anybody been better here than Bobby Labonte. Jeff Gordon running in 4th. Bill, saw that close call on pit road. What are they saying?
It was just that, just a close call. In fact, Ricky Craven even radioed back to his crew to tell Jeff, I really appreciate that he did that. There was no contact between the two. Now, before they went back to green, Jeff Gordon said, I'm having fun. Robbie Loomis said, that's the way it should be. Funny because Craven radioed the exact same thing back to his crew. You can't have any more fun than this. So there's 2 guys out there with good cars. Craven chasing perhaps a 2nd win. Gordon looking for a win and a 4th championship.
Boy, and it is. When you've got a good car, these guys have great cars. They're handling, they're running high, running low. It is a lot of fun. If you're not handling here, it's no fun.
It's pretty fun to watch these guys with these good handling cars.
Yes, it is. Here comes Bobby Labonte. Closed up right on the back bumper of Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon's having all kind of trouble trying to get by John Andretti.
He had a hard time last week. Wasn't it in Homestead he had a hard time getting past the 43 car?
Yeah, I remember that. Oh, trouble. One going up. Dave Blaney. That vibration he said he felt a while back might not have been loose lug nuts. All right, Stacy Compton trying to get the lap back. Jimmy Spencer, John Andretti, all back on the lead lap. Let me check that. Spencer was getting one of two laps he lost back.
Man, it's too bad. Blaney has run so well here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, both races.
This is back in March. Led 70 laps, left some lug nuts loose on a pit stop. And by the time he limped that thing back around to pit road and got it all fixed and repaired, he was laps behind and wound up finishing well down in the pack. Then today, Blaney's out in front for 16 laps early in the race. That's not a good sign.
Evidently, the car was running. Evidently, it's from an oil line off. Marty, what are they saying?
They don't know, Benny, and they're looking right now. They think it might be an oil line, but there's no oil up on the hood, so they're kind of looking around to see what it is. It smells of oil down here on the pit road, but maybe that was the vibration he felt earlier, something going bad in the engine and giving him an early indication it would be a problem later on.
Well, they're sending the cleanup trucks out onto the track to cover oil, so he's put something down in that problem. We're under caution here in Atlanta. Dave Blaney's problems compounding here in the Napa 500 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. He left his pit stall, as we saw a moment ago, came back in and has gone behind the wall.
Yeah, it looks like if you look when he goes by and he leaves the pits, if you look behind it, it looks like he's trailing oil. This trail right here looks like it's coming from the back of his car, so I don't think they quite knew what it was, but they're still in the front of the car, BP. I thought maybe the rear end.
Now, Michael Waltrip came in to pit behind where Blaney's car was.
He found the oil.
Yeah, you see the oil there where you see the 93 guys out there trying to clean the oil up, and there you see it. That streak of oil right there, sorry.
Mikey must have hit it and couldn't get wound down.
Exactly.
And he's back in for a second stop under this caution flag. He has now slid back to 24th place, the last one on the lead lap after a little backing up on pit road excursion of a moment ago. We're going to be under this caution for a few minutes because they've got oil all the way around this mile-and-a-half track and down pit road to clean up. So we'll take this break and come back to Atlanta in a minute.
So clear.
Working the third caution of the Napa 500 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway for oil from Dave Blaney's car scattered all around the surface. And our aerial views today from the Budweiser.com airship, brought to you by Budweiser with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud's for you. NASCAR Busch Series season wrapped up last Saturday down in Homestead, Florida. We check it, brought to you by AC Delco. Kevin Harvick is your 2001 champion. Jeff Green wrapped up his Busch Series career with second place in the final points. They'll present all that hardware and monies and all the rest mid-January out in Beverly Hills, California. Little nose decoration there that doesn't belong for Casey Atwood's car.
It's a tearaway off of the windshield, off of somebody's windshield.
I think somebody dropped that one along the way and he picked it up. Still cleaning up all the oil mess around the track. Let's take a break. Dale Earnhardt Jr. is your leader in the Napa 500.
ABC's coverage of the NASCAR Winston Cup Napa 500 is brought to you by Team Monte Carlo. The cars more champions depend on. Chevy will be there. By NASCAR Thunder 2002. EA Sports, it's in the game. By Walmart, always low prices, always. And by Budweiser, with the crisp, clean, refreshing taste you'll find in no other beer. This Bud for you.
Coming to the green flag in the Napa 500, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is the leader. The top 13 did not pit under this caution flag. The leaders marked with our race chase bubbles. The cars not so marked like Ricky Rudd. A lap down, trying to get one back from Dale Jr.
And look at Ricky Rudd go. But here comes Junior back. He gets that great run off the second corner.
Look at the cloud of dust as they run through all that oil dry.
Oh, Jimmy. Spencer in that 26 car got down in the corner and started up the hill, and it seemed like Tony Stewart sensed that he was there and moved up to give him some room.
First car in line that did pit is Todd Bodine. Let's talk about the fact that everybody pitted at one. Oh, Dale Jr., the leader. Slipping. Craven is out in front. Did he catch the wall, or was that just the camera
I don't know.
catching the stop as it moved all the way around?
Sounds like he's still going okay. Looks like he's going okay.
Too fast there to get a good look at it. How about when you restart on a track that's had all that oil dry put down on it? Well, they brought the blowers out. They blew as much of it off the surface as they could.
Yeah, you can only do so good with those jet dryers. And I'm certain that those cars down on the bottom that had to go through that speedy dry were slipping a bit.
Marty?
Oil dry is exactly what happened to Dale Earnhardt Jr. He hit a little bit, and being the first car in there, he's going to hit it first, obviously, and that's what happened to him. They brushed the wall a little bit, but Tony Eury Sr. said it's no cause for concern.
Doesn't seem to be. Went back by Jeff Gordon. So Dale Jr. running in third. Ricky Craven starting to feel some pressure, too. Look at all that lap traffic mixed in there. Here's Tony Stewart, going to bid for the lead on Ricky Craven.
Bill Weber said a little bit earlier that Ricky Craven was overheating a little bit. So when they came in for that pit stop, they took a little bit of tape off the grill. So it's going to be interesting to see if Ricky might be handling not as well as before he got that tape off. If you take that tape off, the car may push a little bit more.
And that's exactly what it's doing, Wally. Excellent call. He's already told his crew the car's not nearly as good as it was, despite taking off that small piece of tape to try and cool things off.
So he's got less downforce on the nose right now, but they needed to do that to get the air to the engine to cool it down.
In front of, well, here we go for the lead.
Junior has fought his way back. He's taken second away from Craven, and now he takes the lead away from Tony Stewart.
Okay, his car's fine. In front of the leader, the 21 of Elliott Sadler is trying to stay on the lead lap. He's in 26th place. And that yellow car, the 77 of Robert Presley, is also tail end of the lead lap in 25th. And Dave Blaney has just come back out on the speedway, 12 laps down. 41st place, a hole in an oil line. Jeff Gordon, Bobby Labonte mixed in some lap cars. Here comes Rusty Wallace. He's fighting for 8th with Todd Bodine. Dave Burns?
I'll tell you what's bugging Rusty Wallace right now, guys. There have been a whole lot of gnats down here this week, and the warm temperatures have really brought out these little bugs. And Rusty's car right now has tear-offs, what they call, on the windshield to clean the windshield when he comes in. But crew chief Robin Pemberton tells me these little bugs are so plentiful out here, they're going through the tear-offs. So when they try to conserve tear-offs and spray to clean the window, the spray cleaner, the chemicals get underneath each tear-off and really make a mess. So right now these guys are not only trying to contend with the fast speeds here, but the bugs because of the warm temperatures here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. By the way, thanks for my John Howland, my bug model here as we get a lead change. He's the DeWalt Motorsports manager.
Well, hasn't changed yet, but they're racing hard for it.
Here comes Mark Martin, another car that's trying to get a lap back.
Mark, 27th place. Remember, he started on the front row. But got tagged by Dale Earnhardt Jr. earlier. Seemed to knock the handling on his car a little bit askew. Obviously, they've gotten that straightened back out because he's running very well right now. I started to bring the discussion forward before about the decision not to pit under this caution for most of these front runners. 13 cars stayed out at lap 121. At lap 109, they had pitted last. So not that many laps, right? Only 11 laps or so.
Well,
of green flag racing.
Of green flag racing. They may, who knows, they may live to regret it, just like it looks like that it may cost Tony Stewart, Mark Martin, and Dave Blaney earlier on. Caution flag came out and saved them. They're playing it the way that there's no set way to do this, and they're just playing it the way that the car, they're playing the hand that's dealt to them and see what happens.
Well, the cars are handling good enough. These guys are obviously all real happy with their chassis, so they feel like that they can run a long time and handle well. Why come in and stop? I mean, it's like you said, Alan, it's only 10 or 11 laps. So they may be safe with that. Plus, the other guy's got to go through traffic.
Remember earlier?
I was going to say that. I was watching it. I said, well, let's see if Mark puts his nose on the rear bumper of Dale Earnhardt's car and see if it gets him loose.
He got close. But he got so close that all of a sudden he's falling back. How about that?
Jeff Gordon about to lose a spot. He's currently in the 4th position. Bobby Labonte is 5th. And Labonte's been run right on the bottom of the racetrack all race long and been very fast.
Rusty Wallace running in 9th place right now. Started back in 27th. Bill Weber.
Well, Alan, a good run for Rusty Wallace from 27th to 9th so far, and two unusual things. You heard Dave talk about the bug story. Another thing that's a little unusual for Rusty is that he's running a high line. He saw some of the guys go past him. They were using the high line, so he jumped up there. His car comes in after about 20 laps or so, and then it really becomes a rocket. They tightened it up on the first pit stop, and Rusty knows this track is a challenge to get around throughout the day.
The track generally always gets tighter and tighter as the day goes on. I've never seen the track loosen up ever in my life. It'll always start off probably as loose as it's going to be when it starts, and then the track just keeps tightening up, and you find yourself working really hard to try to loosen it up. So you got to have enough adjustability in the car that you can go that direction when the sun starts coming down.
So Rusty Wallace hopes that it's his car that adjusts to the track better than anyone else. Good run for the two, Alan.
There's your mention there at the top of the show, BP, that 25 car. I talked to Tony Furr, the crew chief of that car this morning, and he was awfully confident they had a good race car for here.
And there he is trying to take the spot away. That's 9th spot from Rusty Wallace. But that is always a concern. The racetrack will change once or twice during a 500-mile race. You start, and the car's pushing, it's tight or whatever. You adjust for it, but usually the cars start very, very loose. And before the end of the race is over, the track has tightened up a great deal, like Rusty was saying.
So Rusty trying to defend the 9th spot from Jerry Nadeau. Nadeau started back in 41st place in that 25 car. He is the defending winner of this Napa 500. Dale Earnhardt Jr. out in front for the 5th different time today. He started on the pole. He's led the most laps as we close in on halfway. Wally, you had to fly cross country from Colorado to get here yesterday from your brother's wedding. Jeff, full throttle in the old CD player?
I don't have a CD player.
That's right, you're not up on that technical stuff.
I don't know how to work that.
Well, I do. And I have. It's good stuff.
No banjos.
Benny, we will find you a CD with banjos, I promise.
Okay, good.
Full Throttle available in stores and at shopnbc.com. Your lead is closing in. Ricky Craven creeping up on Dale Earnhardt Jr.
You know, Ricky Craven talked about his car not being as good because of the tape, but after they have run a few laps, he's right now definitely the class for these two cars.
You know, I read in the manufacturers published this, all put out notes about the chassis that each team is using in the race today. And the Ford publicist said that this is the chassis Ricky Craven won at Martinsville with. Here in Atlanta, slowest track on the circuit, fastest track on the circuit. Go figure.
Makes no sense. If it is, it's working.
Yes, it is. It's a good car. That's what it tells me. How's Jeff Gordon doing?
Jeff Gordon is struggling right now. There he is, back in 9th position. But don't be alarmed, Jeff Gordon fans, because Ricky Rudd, the 28 car, is back in 29th. He's a lap down to Jeff Gordon.
It's coming up on halfway in this race, so things are looking good for Gordon to finally cart that Winston Cup Championship trophy off this afternoon.
Check out our telemetry with Jeff Gordon. He goes down to 152 miles per hour. Down to turn 1. He will accelerate up to around 190. In turn 3, exactly 190.
How about that?
Should be a little bit faster down in turn 1. Probably 191, 192. Because the straightaway has a better exit and entry. It's a little bit longer. Just 191.
Boy, and you can really see that sun glare going into turn 1, too, as we ride there with Jeff.
Heck, we aren't halfway yet.
Yeah, if they're having problems with bugs out there, it's going to get a lot worse here in the next hour.
So this is Jeff Gordon and how things are going for him as he's fallen back to 9th. Let's compare him to the leader now and go on board with Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Wow. A lot of bugs. Check out our telemetry on board with Junior. What do we see, 191 on Jeff Gordon on the front straightaway? I think we're going to see more than that with Junior's car. 192, 1 mile per hour. Down the backstretch, we saw 190 on Jeff Gordon's car. Junior's car, 190. So you see, folks, the difference between 1st and 9th is just not a lot.
But 191 miles an hour entering turn 1 at a 1.5 mile track. With the engine restrictions used at Daytona and Talladega, this is NASCAR's fastest track. And it's a mile shorter than Daytona.
But they have the full 800 horsepower here.
And you get the sensation of speed, I think, more here. When you go barreling down off that corner 100 miles an hour here in Atlanta, it feels like you're going that fast.
I'll bet.
I tell you what, Junior's really using that high line, going in the corner while they let it drift up a little bit. He's using all that gray stuff entering turn 1. Tells me his car's a little tight, and he's using the racetrack trying to get to turn.
Yeah, I think both these cars look like they're a little bit tight, and I don't think Ricky can close on the 8 because when he gets close to the back of the 8 car, his car has a hard time turning. He can't turn the car, so that's why he's kind of back a little bit to get some air down on that nose. Bill, can you shed some light on the subject?
Yeah, he's driving with one hand. That's a little bit of his problem in the 32 car. Ricky Craven's car is hopping out of gear. It has done it at least twice, once under caution, once under race conditions. He radioed in that he's having a problem keeping it in gear, and he just radioed back in that the engine is not going to take much more of that, and I can't drive all day with one hand on the wheel and one hand holding the car in gear. So that's one of his problems, and Wally, you know what he wants when he does come back in, other than getting that
that fixed?
A bungee cord.
Well, he'd like some tape back on the grill, too. That tape they took off that was giving him a problem and causing his car to be ill handling after that last pit stop. But that car jumping out of gear is his #1 concern right now.
Yeah, so they probably will put a little tape, like Bill said. He's going to need that on the front to help get some more downforce on the front, but they're also going to have to rig up some kind of a bungee cord and hook it to the back of the seat or something. So when you put it in 4th gear, you take that bungee cord and hook it on the stick shift, and that will keep the shifter back in gear.
Little peek for the lead, not yet.
I think that a crewman will have to jump inside the 32 car to use to install that bungee cord that Wally was talking about.
They've got a side window here, don't they?
Yeah, they do have
So
side
I
window.
think Ricky's going to have to wind up doing that, or unless they do it under a yellow BP, Ricky's going to have to figure something to hook that thing to.
We are about 8 or 9 laps away from pit stops for these leaders. So let's take a commercial break here. Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Ricky Craven are the top 2. Jeff Gordon running in 9th spot, trying to lock up the NASCAR Winston Cup Championship today. The condominiums outside Turn 4 of the Atlanta Motor Speedway, where the Napa 500 is ongoing for the NASCAR Winston Cup Series. Just crossed the halfway point of the race, and we look down on the facility, courtesy of the United States Army, an Army of one. There are 212 ways to be a soldier. Find out more at GoArmy.com.
When we went to break, Ricky Craven was up there right on the back bumper of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Well, he took his hand off that shifter and really tried to take the lead from Jr. And Wally saw it jump out of gear coming off turn 4. And you saw, now you can see he's back 2 1/3 seconds behind Dale Jr. Really driving with one hand.
And you know, BP, those motors don't like you hitting 95, 100, 10,000 or whatever that thing hit. When you're in 4th gear and that thing jumps out of gear, ooh, that's ugly.
Matt Kenseth had a close call just seconds ago. Matt's been running a really high line in turns 3 and 4. And he needed a higher one.
Yeah, he needed, it wasn't a close call. It was a little damage, a little pancake to the wall. He goes in the corner like Junior, trying to use all the gray area. A little bit too high. Dave, what are they saying down there?
Benny Matt did radio in. He said the car felt fine after that incident. So at this point, they're not going to worry about it until they make pit stops in just a few laps.
14th place on the lead lap right now for Matt Kenseth.
I guess when you're that close to the wall, you're already that close. So if you go up and hit it, you're just scraping it. You're not really pounding it.
All right, the guys who did not stop on the last caution at 121, beginning to pit. Matt?
Dale Jarrettson, he says his car is tight all the way around. They're going to make a wedge adjustment on the left side and change all 4 tires. Kevin Stambears pulls off the tear-offs, leaving only 2 left. You can see all the guys over the wall have either hockey helmets or Simpson helmets for safety this afternoon.
And Dale Jarrett, by pitting this early, does that mean that he ran out of fuel the last time or just stalled it trying to exit the pit?
Well, they pitted at 109. So that's 61 laps. That's about a normal window, isn't it? 60 laps is about the fuel window here. All that cloud of dust out of the inside was Dale Jarrett running through all the oil dry on the apron, getting up to speed. Here's Jerry Nadeau in. Had gotten up to 4th before the pit stop.
Jerry Nadeau has been flying in this 25 car. While you talked about talking to Tony Fair, and he was confident they could have a good run today.
Ricky Rudd is in.
And Ricky Craven is off the pace on the front straightaway.
Watching Rudd's crew go to work. There's Craven.
Back in, but I can't keep it in.
He cannot keep it here. He's got to get in right now.
Then it comes out. It feels like maybe something's come out of the rear of the transmission.
Bill?
Well, Mike Beam right now telling Ricky to do the best he can, but as we told you a few minutes ago, that car continues to pop out of gear. The crew on the wall as Craven will begin the crawl down pit road, but this is a very frustrated Ricky Craven. Earlier in the day, very jovial, joking with his team, telling how much fun it is, but that fun
has gone out the window now. He feels like there could be a problem in the transmission. His entire crew is here. Of course, they all wearing helmets. They have been doing that throughout the season. So Craven into his pit stall. They'll go around to the right side. They do have a bungee cord that they've taken off their wagon, and they've given it to Craven to try and hook something up. So he shoves the water bottle out. After he gets the car in gear, he'll try and hook that around the shifter and then use the bungee cord. He can't get it in first gear now. Gets a little help getting out of the pits, and this will be a battle for him too, trying to work that through the gearbox, Wally, then get it in gear, and then tie it in gear. And now Marty.
Tony Stewart is on pit road with a very good race car. He's a little tight in, a little free off, but they will make no adjustments, no planned adjustments as they come down pit road for 4 tires. Up at the front end of pit road, Dale Earnhardt Jr. also with a very strong race car, a little tight on that last run, and another great stop for these guys as they'll win the race on pit road a bunch. No changes for Junior.
Go back to that Ricky Craven thing for a minute. He probably had to put it in 4th gear, and that's why he had so much trouble leaving.
No, I don't think so, but I'm just wondering, you know, I was trying to listen to what Ricky was saying. I'm wondering if things coming out of gear, although he's got it back in the place.
He's coming back down pit road.
Yep. It's almost like it may be something in the tranny.
They won't stay in high gear. Jack, get a jack stand.
So obviously he's got the lever back, he's got the shifter back, and it's still popping out of gear by the sounds like.
Sterling Marlin had taken over the lead. Now he's come to pit road, Dave.
And his car had been really loose, Alan. They burned a tearaway for Sterling. They take that off. It's a clear view for him right now. It had been really loose. It was coming to him, but it was still just a tick loose. They're going to pretty much leave it the way it is, put 4 tires on him, and fill it full of fuel. Bill?
Well, Ricky Craven is back on pit road. He has shut it off, and now the opposite problem. It is stuck in gear, I believe. I believe it's stuck in low gear. They talked about trying to get it out of there and just put it in high gear, Alan, as you suggested a few moments ago. But they're under the car. They have jack stands under there. Winston Cup official watching them very closely, but Craven has shut it off, sitting in the car, and they're working under there to try and either get it out of gear or at least get it into gear. Dave?
Matt Kenseth is in now. They will make a wedge adjustment on the car. Matt was very, very quiet over this long run. It was a little bit tight. That right side damage, it looks like they're going to let it go for right now. They'll change the 4 tires, give him a clean windshield as well, and let's go to Marty.
Bill Elliott on pit road, very tight for Bill. It's been tight all day long. They haven't been able to help the car very much. The team wearing dirt bike helmets that they picked up on Thursday, and a pretty good stop for these guys, Dave.
Way tighter for Todd Bodine on that last run, and then they made a 4-tire change and a track bar adjustment, so he's pitting again now. That was lap 121. He pitted last time. Another adjustment for him this time as they try to make the 66 the most drivable, the fastest for Todd Bodine.
Jeff Burton is the new leader as Ricky Craven still continues to sit. Just to back up on that, my thought was that he probably would have had a better time sticking it in high gear and tying the bungee while he was sitting still on pit road, and maybe when he was trying to lug away, he just had it in high gear.
I used the bungee cord for 2 years.
Really?
Yes, hold the car in high gear.
With the Lincoln Donny pass?
Well, and you shifted with it there?
Shifted with it there? No, I didn't shift. You hook it on the seat, you shift. When you get to high gear, you reach for it and hook it on the gear shifter.
Another thing, Alan, it'd be real hard to get out of these pits in 4th gear.
Oh, yeah.
You can just destroy the clutch.
And Wally, that's what they just tried to do, and somebody jumped on the radio and said, Mike, this is never going to work. So that's when they pushed him back, jacked him back up. Ricky's dropped the window net, clearly very frustrated, but they couldn't get him out of here in 4th gear.
Yeah, that's tough break.
That's too bad.
Anybody know what's going on? They're trying to lock it in gear, Ricky.
So the problems continue for Ricky Craven.
You know why we can't just put it?
Jeff Burton, the leader, is coming to pit road. Lap 181, 60 laps since he stopped. Mike Wallace takes over the top spot.
I'm here.
Matt?
The 99's in. They're already on the left side. No adjustments for 99. He was tight earlier, but the car started to come to him. Not everybody on this team has helmets on, but they're looking at using helmets for next year. They just didn't have enough time to R&D, find the right helmet to fit them properly with their radio headsets and etc.
Mike Wallace took over the lead when Burton pitted. He's on the pit road now. Kevin LePage, Michael Waltrip, Joe Nemechek among those who get the stop. Matt?
4-tire change also for Mike Wallace. I talked to his crew chief, Peter Suspenzo. They were tight earlier, and it's taken them pretty much all race to get to this point where now the car is pretty good, and he's down and away.
Good pit stop. Did you see that fire in Jeff Burton's right front a while ago?
Yeah.
How much brake they're using trying to get these cars stopped at Inner Pit Road?
Here comes Mikey Waltrip. And we'll go to Marty Snyder to cover the Michael Waltrip stop.
Remember, they came down pit road at lap 121 and lap 122. They were very loose on the run before this one. What they did before was they put spring rubbers in the right front and the left front. It made the car much better. Michael said it's just a little bit loose now, so they're going to add half a pound to the right front tire for Michael Waltrip. Fresh off that fine second-place run at Homestead, they pulled a tearaway away, which is very critical today because of all the bugs that are out here and a little bit of a slow start going for these guys and they get the left side tires on. Back to Dave Burns.
Marty, Kevin LePage is having a good run. They come in this time. They're going to give him 4 tires. The last time I checked with Scott LePage's crew chief, he said the car was good. And so it doesn't look like they're going to make any major changes for Kevin right now. They will take a tear off the window as well for Kevin as they change 4 tires. Joe Nemechek is in. Chris Carrier, the crew chief, is off the box and wiping down the window for Joe to give him good vision. He got in the oil laid down by the one of the cars that blew a motor earlier, the 93 of Dave Blaney, and they came in for a lap 121 pit stop, but made no changes that time. Doesn't look like they made very many this time either.
And so the lead cycles around to Dale Earnhardt Jr. But positions have exchanged on some of these pit stops as Jerry Nadeau has gotten out ahead of Tony Stewart. And he takes over second spot.
On board with Dale Earnhardt Jr. as he goes down in turn 3 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway.
140 laps to go. Dale Earnhardt Jr. cycles through some pit stops and moves back into the number 1 spot.
Growing Anne-Marie Tiernan, weeknights on Eyewitness News 5.
Back at the Atlanta Motor Speedway where Dale Earnhardt Jr. leads the Napa 500. Coming up next on NBC, the ultimate test of human endurance. No, it's not dinner with our NBC crew. It's the Ironman Triathlon. Top American hopeful Tim DeBoom and some of the best athletes in the world take the ultimate challenge, swimming, biking, and then running a marathon all in one day. It's the Ironman Triathlon next on NBC.
You write all that stuff?
Do I write it? Yeah. I make it up as I go.
Ah.
Okay. You know what our dinners are like when we go as a group.
Ah, I do.
They take a while.
They do take a while. You see, Jeff Gordon and Dale Jarrett, this is a battle for the 10th position. Jeff can't do anything with Dale right now. Has to back up.
Gordon led 31 laps earlier in the race from lap 41 to 71, but the handling just seems to be getting away.
You know, is that not what has happened the last 2 races? At Rockingham and Minor, he ran pretty well in the beginning, but as the race progressed, he started falling back. Same thing is happening again today.
This is for 7th spot here. Johnny Benson in the 10. Feeling some pressure from Todd Bodine in the 66. It's been a pretty solid day for both Bodine and Benson. They've just kind of been at the backside of the top 10 or just outside of it. Mark Martin's on pit road. Dave.
And right now, Alan, reporting that he needs to get a little bit of help coming off the corner, so we'll see what kind of adjustment they make at this point. They're, of course, going to put fuel in the car, change 4 tires. Going to make an air pressure adjustment. It appears no wrenches going in the backs of these cars, so the chassis stays the same, and they adjust him with a little pressure in those tires.
Great pit stop. 14.1 seconds. See, Jeff Green has been on pit road for quite a while in that 30 car.
5th place here. Ward Burton in the 22, going to move by Sterling Marlin. Ward started in 4th spot. Buckshot Jones is on and off pit road. That's a stop-and-go penalty. Too many men over the wall when he came in a lap earlier.
And Buckshot had run out of fuel the lap before and had to coast from about this point all the way back around to pit road. So
probably got a bunch of guys over the wall to push the car in. And that's why they got the penalty, I assume. I know you wanted to go down there and help. I saw you taking your headset off.
No, that was not me.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. has led 6 different times today. 95 of the 196 laps that have been run, he has paced. Right now he's out in front by 2.3 seconds over Jerry Nadeau. Nadeau on the first couple of laps after the pit stop was closing in on Earnhardt Jr., but as they've gotten 7, 8 laps on the tires, now it's going back the other way.
And Dave Blaney, after a great run to begin with, is taking his car to the garage area. And Bill Weber's probably back there with someone else, aren't you, Bill?
In the garage with Ricky Craven. You had a great run going. Obviously, something happened to your shifter.
Well, actually, we broke the transmission. And, but what an effort by the Tide team. And, you know, this team represents all of the working men and women in America because they're the hardest working group I've ever been around. Next year is going to be a lot of fun. We still have a race left, I know, but you think about how much progress this team has made, and the Tide team is going to have a great time next year.
You felt that going, huh, Ricky?
Well, actually, I could get to junior, and it would pop out of gear. And it's too bad because as a racer, that's as much fun as you can have. I would love to have mixed it up with junior at the end. It's just exactly what you live for as a racer. But we'll go home next week, have some turkey, and race at my favorite track.
You're taking us all to your place for Thanksgiving, right?
I'm going to take you as long as you don't call me Ricky Rudd. The rest of the world's invited.
I had that coming. Yes. Ricky Craven able to smile despite a very disappointing middle of the race here for him back in the garage.
Got me, didn't he?
Got you, Weber. And yes, it's up to New Hampshire International Speedway Friday at noon Eastern Time here on NBC for the season finale for the NASCAR Winston Cup Series.
And Rick and Jimmy Spencer, very so the Grinch is on the wall.
Caution's out.
Got a tire down. Looks like the left rear may be flat.
Yeah, it is flat. The left rear is flat.
Yep. 4th yellow of the race.
Here comes Mark. Mark's going to get a lap back, but he's about 3 down after that last pit stop. Now 2 down.
Yep, got 1 back there. Well, that's not very good.
It's very good that he didn't crash.
Yeah.
Because normally that's what happens. And
that's not good.
That is just definitely not good.
Joe Nemechek was having a pretty solid run. He was on the lead lap. Now he's being shown the first car 1 lap down.
With a lot of smoke coming out of the back of that car.
Dave? 26 car of Jimmy Spencer. They changed 2 left side tires, and then he stalled it. Right now, the Grinch is very slow getting off of pit lane and still has not fired. Very frustrating for them. And at this point, they're going to try, but it's not firing, guys.
At this point, they better get it off the pit road because the rest of the leaders are going to be coming in here under the caution right now.
There's an opening there. Turn left, Jimmy.
I think he's going to lose a lap.
Now, this is not good. It is not good to have a group of guys pushing a car in the middle of pit road when everybody's coming in. Matt?
Jerry Nadeau, who started 41st, comes in 2nd. He's been loose all day. They've continued to adjust this car with air pressure. They're doing so again on this stop. None of the over-the-wall guys, except for the gas man and catch can man, are wearing helmets. They are going to try and do that for next year. They just thought they didn't have enough time today.
4-tire stop for Sterling Marlin down on the track bar. They come over to the left side now, full of fuel for him. Let's go to Marty.
Well, they warned me before they made the pit stop. They're going after Vinny's money this time for sure. Dale Jr. a little bit tight, 1 pound on the right front, going for his 4th win of the year, and they win the race off pit road, Bill.
Jeff Gordon in traffic heading down pit road. He told Robbie Loomis, we've got to do something. This car is junk. It goes into the turn, and then it just wants to go straight. It's like the right front won't turn. So apparently some contact, perhaps, between the 24 and the 10 on pit road, but the object is to make that car turn better They made a track bar adjustment, 4 tires, and fuel. We'll check on the pit road contact.
Might have been just like the last one, Bill. I think it was a close call, but I'm not sure they bumped. Let's take a look.
Oh, boy.
No, I don't think they touched either.
Boy, Jeff is getting real good at turning that thing right on pit lane. Here you see him coming out, and you see the tank car drive right out. Well, I'll tell you, he was lucky there.
He could have gotten the left fenders and the right
side. Yep, Rusty was right there.
So Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s team holds the lead through a cycle of pit stops. We're under caution here at the Napa 500 in Atlanta. Still under caution in the Napa 500 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. We are just past the 200 lap mark now. And let's take a look at our Napa field summary. 11 different drivers have traded the lead. Dale Earnhardt Jr., Tony Stewart, and Jeff Gordon have done most of the leading. Earnhardt Jr. has led half of the laps that have been run so far. Cars out of the race. Lance Hooper and Carl Long. Early problems. Dave Blaney lost the engine after its oil went out of it due to a cut line earlier.
NBC's coverage of the NASCAR Winston Cup Napa 500 is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Napa, we keep America running. By Miller Lite. Grab a Miller Lite. It's Miller time. By Conseco. Step up. And by UPS, the official delivery company of NASCAR. We want to race the truck. People love the truck.
Just past 300 miles of the Napa 500 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, and we're 1 lap away from the restart. A little mini soap opera involving Elliott Sadler under the caution flag.
NASCAR had penalized him for a lap. They brought him in, held him for a lap. Okay, go ahead. And Pat Price, the crew chief, starts giving that NASCAR official a piece of his mind. They had penalized him for pitting out of his box the preceding lap. And Pat pleased his case.
I think Pat's saying, look at the film.
And they did.
And they did, and they gave it back to him.
And they made the call to give him his lap back. So he went past the pace car, got one of the laps back, and now they're topping the fuel off to send him on his way.
That means he's going to try to make it on one more stop.
We saw Joe Nemechek smoking at the caution flag. Dave, what happened there?
Yeah, good thing it wasn't a motor, Alan. It was power steering. A line had disconnected from the power steering pump, so they came down pit road, refilled the reservoir, and reconnected the power steering line to the pump. They also came in a second time, put on 4 tires, filled it full of fuel.
All right, Dave, thanks. Nemechek, go ahead. Nemechek shown in 26, 1 lap down.
Good timing. It happened then and not under green.
Mark Martin is 1 and almost, well, actually, he's 2 laps down there to the inside of Dale Jr., trying to get it back. Williams race chase bubbles over the leader's cars. It's Dale Earnhardt Jr., Jerry Nadeau, and Bonnie Labonte.
Remember, Mark Martin has just pitted when just before this last caution flag come out.
He's not going to get anything back from Dale Jr. there. Tony Stewart, 4th place car, clears the traffic. Next lead lap car is the silver machine of Sterling Marlin. John Andretti in that 43 is the first car 1 lap down. He's in 22nd place. He's the blue car there. That's Andretti. Familiar color on the Petty car this weekend.
Petty Blue. Made very famous back in the 60s by Richard Petty. Battle for second spot. And guys, this 18 car has been fast all day long. Could be someone to really battle these front 3 for the checkered flag 120 laps or so from now.
Nadeau's not willing to give it up yet. The defending winner of this race in that 25 car, the defending Winston Cup champion in the 18.
Here again, Tony Stewart could play into this. Depending on where he goes and where he puts his car. Looks like he's going to follow Jerry.
So Labonte goes from bidding for second back to fourth behind Stewart. Bill Weber has more on that Elliott Sadler penalty, no penalty situation for us, Bill.
Yeah, Alan, just to make sure it's perfectly clear, Elliott Sadler did pit out of his box. He was 4 inches over the forward line, but before the team serviced the car was pushed back and was legally in the box, but was still held for the penalty. You shouldn't get both, and that's why NASCAR corrected the wrong call down here on pit road.
All right, Bill, thanks. So Sadler's back in the chase, and as you saw there, in 27th place, 1 lap down. We've run 213 laps. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has led 112. Tony Stewart has led 33 on 3 different occasions in that 20 car.
Now, Bobby Labonte moved up about a half the racetrack that time, BP. I think he's searching for a better line that suits his car. Because he had been running that low line. I'm going to try the high line.
Jerry Nadeau, the 25 car, has been using the low line primarily all day today. But I see when Bobby Labonte got alongside of him, he forced him up the racetrack, and Nadeau's been running pretty well up there.
Now Stewart moved up.
Of these top 4, the leader, Dale Jr., started on the pole. Nadeau started 41st in the 25 car. Tony Stewart started 12th. Bobby Labonte started 39th. Bid for the lead? Not yet.
Tell you what, if he can take the lead from 41st to 1st is not too bad.
All right, Bobby's going to go back to the bottom again.
Might work this time. Looks like Tony gave it up a little bit there.
And here comes Nadeau once again.
And once again, cannot get that run off turn 2 that he needs.
Well, you're definitely going to be faster getting off the corner if you're running high like the 8 car of Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's definitely quick getting up off the corner because he can run that high line. But Jerry's got to try everything he can.
All right, Jerry Nadeau is going back to up the racetrack a little bit.
Looks like Bobby Labonte's creeping in on the both of them.
Last time by, Bobby Labonte was the fastest car. Actually, the last time the fastest car in the top 6 was Dale Jarrett, car back in 5th spot.
Yeah, he's kind of creeping into contention here, isn't he? About every time you look up, he's picked up a couple of more spots very quietly. All right, bottom side didn't work. Let me try the high side. That didn't work either. He lost the ground to Dale Jr. there. Speeds at the line.
Now he's got Bobby Labonte right on his tail, and if Bobby stays there, he's going to loosen up the 25 car, if he can get close enough.
Check it out, Dale Jarrett, another lap, was the fastest car in the top 6, top 5.
Two down the bottom, one up the top.
Bobby should get a good run off before here now.
Here comes Jarrett for 4th. Got it from Tony Stewart.
And in motion Council waves out the women. Thanks, Tony Stewart, for not holding him up a great deal.
Dale Jarrett started in 33rd place.
Here we go.
Bobby Labonte for second. Hey, you just got to love this racetrack. They're running all over it, racing for these spots. It's great.
Bobby's car looks like it looks like it's better high if he can stay up there. If he can run up on the high groove. That's when he really made his time up on the 25 that last lap.
And the 25 car ran high down 3 and 4 the last time and gained on Dale Jr.
Earnhardt Jr., Nadeau, Labonte, Jarrett, and Stewart, the leaders in the Napa 500 from Atlanta on NBC. Tightening up for the top spot in the Napa 500. At the Atlanta Motor Speedway, Dale Earnhardt Jr. continuing to fend off Jerry Nadeau with Bobby Labonte, and now Dale Jarrett closing in.
Dale Jarrett, the 4th place car, is less than 1 second. There he is, the 88.
Nadeau's dipped to the bottom a couple of times. He's drawn alongside Dale Jr., but he's not been able to get by and finish the pass. You see Ricky Craven is back out on the racetrack after the time in the garage to make the transmission repair. He's 30 laps down in 40th spot. Well, Dale Jarrett's been the fastest the last couple of times we looked at speeds at the line. How about this time?
That time it was Jerry Nadeau. That was the quickest. I think that Jarrett, once he got up behind Bobby Labonte, picked up that arrow push and kind of stalled his progress.
Let's go through the field a little bit. Marty, how about Dale Earnhardt Jr.?
Having an outstanding run, Alan. 3 times this year, Dale Jr. has led the most laps in the race. He has won all 3 of those races. So far today, he has led the most laps. He is very good at the beginning of the run, but gets tighter the longer he runs. To Matt.
Jerry Nadeau looking for a 2nd career win, his 2nd straight in this event. Currently sits in 2nd. He was running the high line on that last run, but now has dipped to the mid to low line. His car was very loose in the last run. He really hasn't said a whole lot, except that if Dale Jr. would let him by, let him win 1 lap, he would let him back by. Meanwhile, the 18 car, Bobby Labonte, he was reporting in that his car was very good. The problem, when he got up behind the 25 car, Jerry Nadeau, he picked up an arrow push, so he was going to drop back and just try to set up Nadeau and see what part of the racetrack he felt like he could make the pass. Meanwhile, the 88 car of Dale Jarrett, who won on the old configuration here, looking for his first win on the new configuration, 4 times second on the new configuration. His car is tight. They took out 1 round of wedge in the last stop, and he has said nothing about the car of late. To Marty Snyder.
Tony Stewart, not very good on this run, Matt. He is tight, and the tendency should be that his car will get tighter the longer it runs. He wants some wedge out. They are running 5th. They've had 3 top 10s in the last 4 races. Ward Burton behind them. They have continued to struggle with this tight situation for Ward. The longer he runs, the tighter he gets. They have been very consistent lately, looking for their 2nd win of the year. Dave?
Marty, in his 35th start here at Atlanta, Sterling Marlin would like to do 1 better than he has for his best so far. He finished 2nd in 1995. To help do that, they made a track bar adjustment last time. His car was a tick loose. Bill?
Well, Jeff Gordon's car continues to be very, very tight and getting tighter, and there's a reason for that. Remember how out to lunch they were at Rockingham? Well, that day it was really, really loose. So they tried to correct for that here. The problem is right now, it appears they have gone too far. It'll be a track bar adjustment and an air pressure adjustment, but Gordon is just way too tight, Dave.
Bill, 2 stops ago, Rusty Wallace's car was tight, so they made a track bar and an air pressure adjustment. It was so good they didn't make any changes the last time. Oh, except they took off their 2nd to last tear-off on the windshield. Remember the bug problem? They've got 1 left. Matt?
Mike Wallace has climbed to the 10th position. He is trying to audition for this ride, hoping to keep his team alive for next year. The car is neutral, but it's like a long-distance runner. It takes his car a long time for it to come in. To Marty Snyder.
Well, Matt, perhaps no team has worked harder today than Johnny Benson's team. They're running 11th. They were extremely loose early on in the race. They've made several changes to the car. It was very good on the run before. Now he says he feels like it's losing some overall grip. Dave?
Without a ride for next year, Kevin LePage is showing him what he can do. They made a 4-tire stop the last time. No changes, according to crew chief Scott LePage. And I asked him if he tried 2-tire stops to gain some track position. He said no, they haven't, and they won't. Matt?
Kevin Harvick is trying to sweep both races here in Atlanta. They brought back the same race car, used the same setup, but it was very loose on this return trip, so they had to alter their setup. Right now, the car is tight in the center of the corner. They put a rubber in the right rear, just trying to free it up. Meanwhile, Jeff Burton trying to end this roller coaster season on a high note. He was a little loose in the middle, but the car seems to get better as the race goes on. They made a minor air pressure adjustment on his last stop. The team is hoping for a long run today.
This car should run well for Todd Bodine. It was on the pole in Chicago, but it's never finished well. Best was 14th at Chicago. That's where he is right now. It was a little bit tight last time in the middle. They made an air pressure adjustment to the right rear. Marty?
Well, Dave Hutt-Strickland is stalking Todd Bodine, trying to take that 15th position. He obviously in 16th, very good on the long run. His Hutt, they get tight, they start tight, and they get better the longer they run. In his first ride for Bill Davis Racing. Right behind him is Stacy Compton. Tight right now is Stacy Compton. They've been tight all day long in 17th. Stacy, I talked to him this morning. He said they may have some very good news. They may actually be around for the full season next year in Winston Cup. Matt?
How about Bobby Hamilton Jr., the young man from Nashville, Tennessee, currently in the 18th position. On the last stop, they made a wedge adjustment, trying to help his race car from the center of the corner off today.
Hey, Matt Kenseth used to have that position. He had it in front of Bobby Hamilton Jr., but then he lost it. Remember, he got a lap back when the last caution came out. He came in, did some right front fender work. His car was a little bit tight, so they made a track bar adjustment. He picked up 3 spots, but now he's lost that 1 to Bobby Hamilton. Marty?
Well, Dave, Bill Elliott went 7 years without a win. Now he's trying to make it back-to-back wins, but sitting in 20th with a very tight race car, they have a lot of work to do if that's going to be the case today. He has not said much on the radio, and we have a pass for the lead on the racetrack.
Well, this will be about the 15th time Jerry Nadeau has tried to pull to the inside of Dale Earnhardt Jr. Not yet.
Just can't do it. He needs the entire racetrack coming off these corners to be able to get the maximum speed out of that 25 car. See how he comes off the corner, lets it drift right up next to the fence. When Earnhardt Jr. is out there, it really slows his progress down. I can't believe how high Junior's going in these corners.
Behind them, Tony Stewart has lost a few positions. Dale Jarrett has gone to 4th, Ward Burton to 5th, Sterling Marlin to 6th, and Stewart's all the way back to 7th. But lap after lap after lap, it looks like Nadeau's going to have a shot at Earnhardt Jr., and he just can't finish it off.
He's got a great run this time. But watch when he comes off the corner. This may be the old slide job.
Got him.
Good job, man. Go, cat, go. You're the man.
Rodney Combs, the spotter, talking to Jerry Nadeau. First time he has led all day, and he only worked on that one for about 40 laps. Just past 350 miles here in Atlanta. 96,000 on hand at the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the second-to-last race of the NASCAR Winston Cup season, the Napa 500. Jeff Gordon trying to lock up the Winston Cup Championship today, right now in position to do same. But we've got a whale of a fight for the race win. Looking down on the speedway from the Budweiser.com airship, brought to you by NASCAR's official beer, Budweiser. Race fans, this Bud's for you. Jerry Nadeau, the 12th different driver to lead this one. He's moved out in front of Dale Earnhardt Jr. by 1.8 seconds. Don't forget, next Friday, it's the season finale for the Winston Cup Tour, NBC noon Eastern Time, the New Hampshire 300 presented by Behind Enemy Lines.
And that's Friday, BP.
Friday.
We'll have indigestion that day.
The day after Thanksgiving. Yes, we will. And the Wallace brothers have got themselves a battle royale.
Rusty is running in 9th, Mike is running in 10th, and Mike's been trying to take it away from his teammate and brother for a while. Hey, 51, that's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
We get 51 degrees in New Hampshire Thanksgiving weekend, we'll be very happy.
Rusty had to get way out of the gas there, getting off the corner.
Remember, Mike in that 12 car was a lap down at one point. Maybe he's got him this time.
Yeah.
Rusty is just not going to give up, is he?
I think Mike will get him here, though. Oh, not quite.
With all the things we found out this weekend about who is going to drive what car next year, we still don't know anything more about that 12. Last weekend, I talked to Roger Penske and Walt Czarnecki down at Homestead, and they said, we'll not say anything about it till the season is done. That means Mike Wallace and the rest of these guys have to wait till after Loudon next Friday to find out what their fate would be.
That was my brother. I'd get him loose.
You would, huh?
I would.
Stick the nose right up under the bumper?
Yes, I would. He's not being very nice right now.
Rusty.
Okay.
Sterling Marlin closing in on Dale Jarrett. Seemed like the farther we get on this set of tires, the farther Dale Jarrett fades from the leader.
Yeah, the first 25 laps on this run, he was fastest car by far. But now he is struggling. And there goes Sterling, take over that spot.
We're about 10 to 12 laps from another round of pit stops, which is going to make it interesting where fuel mileage is concerned to the finish. Could put some people on the bubble. So let's take a break. We'll come back for the pit stops and set the situation up for you then. Jerry Nadeau is the leader. You're watching NASCAR on NBC. Jerry Nadeau is leading the Napa 500 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway by 2 seconds over Dale Earnhardt Jr. Bobby Labonte, Sterling Marlin, and Ward Burton make up the top 5. Just a little bit away from green flag pit stops that could be the final stops of the day.
And the most important pit stops of the day.
How's Jeff Gordon doing? Came into the day trying to lock up his 4th NASCAR Winston Cup Series championship. Back in 8th place right now, and he's 14 seconds behind his team car, that 25. Jeff Gordon trying to become only the 3rd man to win more than 3 NASCAR Winston Cup Series championships, and that's pretty darn good company if he does it.
As happy as, look at that windshield going down to turn 1. What can you see, folks? Nothing.
I see a lot of bugs.
A lot of bugs. It is really, really bad. The sun, late in the evening in turn 1 in Atlanta, the sun comes beating in there, and these bugs aren't helping the situation at all.
Tire and oil, tire grime and oil, and all that oil dry that we've had on the track from, boy.
But you know, Jeff Gordon, as happy as he's going to be to win this championship, is going to be very disappointed because he and the team really wanted to win this race today. Not to say he is going to win, but it doesn't look like he's going to win.
They got up from their starting place, took the green in 24th, got up and actually led, and had a terrific car in the early going, but the handling has certainly faded away. But Gordon again in position to lock up the championship at the end of the day. He's running in 8th right now. Here's Jeff Burton, who talked with us earlier in the weekend about the effect of the setting sun during this Atlanta race.
One of the things that really happens in the fall, more so in the spring, is the sun sets. It's very difficult to see. And your windshield gets pitted up, the sun sets over in between 1 and 2, and you get to where you almost can't see anything coming off turn 2, and it's kind of scary. So you need to really be prepared for that and do whatever you can in your car to make visibility as good as possible, because that is an issue.
wonder how many of these guys are out of their tear-offs, too.
Yeah, the bugs have caused all these guys to use them excessively today.
Right.
You wouldn't normally take one off every pit stop during a race.
Not normally, especially in a place like Atlanta, because you don't really get a lot of debris. But today, I don't know if, normally you put, say, 4, 5, or 6. Well, they're going to need about 8 or 9 of them today.
And Ricky Rudd is in the wall up in turn 3 and 4.
Left front tire's down.
He has worn that left front tire out.
Quick.
Caution's out. Caution is out.
Kind of caution's out.
Debris from Rudd's car, I believe, is the call.
Now, the 99 hit pit road right before, it'd be close on what they did on the yellow.
Let's look at, they're all speeding through the pit lane to make sure they beat the leader back.
Yeah.
We saw earlier in the race, Dave Blaney's car had a left front tire that they've worn through to the cords.
Yep. And we talked about it. It's probably, well, it's hard to say, but it's a good chance that inside of that left front tire is gone.
It is now.
There's all the camber in the car that you have to run here to get some bite.
Here's what happened to Ricky Rudd that brought the caution flag out.
And he goes down in turn 3 and sees that left front, or realizes the left front is flat. He goes up, rubs the wall. Not a lot of damage to the car, I wouldn't think, though.
And that caution came out at exactly the perfect point for people to pit, take their fuel, and make it to the finish.
Here's the problem with what he just did going through the pit. I think he's got a lot of damage down that left front fender because that tire may have come apart.
Here comes the rest of the field to the opening of pit road. As you see Rudd's crew
Guys. You got to pick it up.
working on the car. Matt?
And the 25 of Jerry Nadeau, the leader, comes in. They've told his gas man he has got to pack that fuel cell full of fuel because they were close. They made a wedge adjustment because Jerry was complaining his car was very loose. Today,
Sterling Marlin's car was a little bit loose. They make a wedge adjustment. Otherwise, he's pretty good on the long runs. They also take a tearaway off. They'll make that wedge adjustment now. Bill?
Jeff Gordon on pit road with a very tight race car. Track bar adjustment, 4 tires and fuel, a very dirty windshield, and a very dirty visor. He's on his way to Mark. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s team will win the race off pit road again with another great stop. They have been tight all day long. Half pound out of the left rear and 1 round of wedge out of the left side.
Ricky Rudd's still in the pit.
Well, since they got lapped, they might as well stay in there and do all the work they need to do.
But it looks like they do have some damage on the left front, and that tire probably shredding.
Let's check on the race off of pit road. This is the camera at the scoring line.
There we see Junior. And then we see Nadeau. Labonte, Sterling Marlin.
Stewart Wardburn. 62 laps to go here in Atlanta. We're under caution in the Napa 500.
Welcome back to Atlanta, a sunny afternoon. The field under caution. We'll get 1 to go this time by. Now, through the season, we've tried to help you meet some of the behind-the-scenes people on our crew that work so hard for you every week. You've been introduced to guys like Porky and Thumper. You've heard us talk about some of our camera guys like Goat and Dog and T-Bone and Pony. Then there's Turtle, Rambo, and Stoley. Back in the compound, more strange people with names like Hoppy and Heffy and Mr. B and Doc. And then there's this one guy named Brad. A pit road videographer since 1983. Back then, those cameras were big and heavy. In fact, Brad was 6'2" when he started this job. But now, after 19 seasons, this is Brad's final race. You see, he actually has a cushy desk job away from the track, so for years he spent weekdays in the office and weekends at the racetrack. In addition to covering pit road, he's covered my back since 1995. Brad's always brought 3 things to the track: great talent, a friendly laugh, and a quality cigar. To his wife, Sue, we've done all we can. Now you take care of him on the weekends. Brad, you've brought a special style and a smile to the many miles. You take with you our sincere thanks, our best wishes, and finally a nickname. One reserved for only the best. Champion. Thank you.
Way to go, Brad.
Brad. And if you had to cover Weber's back, see, his hair wasn't that color all the time.
No, he was dark-haired till 1995, right?
All right, we're set to go back racing. 58 laps to go, and they take the green flag. Dale Earnhardt Jr. got the lead back from Jerry Nadeau on the pit stops. All that work Nadeau did to get the lead from Jr., he's got to load it up and try it again.
Be Michael Waltrip, Robert Presley down on the bottom of the racetrack. Robert is just one lap down. There you see her bubbles. Junior, Jerry Nadeau, Bobby Labonte.
Oh, somebody's way off the pace down there on the bottom.
Joe Nemechek, isn't it?
Couldn't see.
Lap cars side by side separating Sterling Marlin from the lead lap cars he's racing with. Not for long. It is the 33 car that didn't come up to speed.
Too bad.
Only 3 cars out of this race so far. Dave Blaney, Lance Hooper, and Carl Long. Potentially a 4th right there.
And Jimmy Spencer is back on pit road with an unscheduled pit stop, and no one is...
Looks like a stop and go almost.
Stop and go penalty from NASCAR. Must have passed someone on the left side.
I didn't hear him call a penalty, Benny. Don't know what that's about. And a report from Joe Nemechek's pit is the transmission broke on the restart. Dale Earnhardt Jr. back out in front, courtesy of the pit crew, Marty.
And Alan, we've talked all day long about how hard it is to see inside of these race cars, especially in 1 and 2, where the sun is right in the driver's eyes. Compounding that fact is a problem for Dale Earnhardt Jr. He radioed to the crew under caution, "I have a piece of metal in my eye," or something like that. I need someone medical to meet me after the race to get this out of my eye. It's really bothering him. It is in his left eye. He's having problems seeing on the racetrack. Nat?
Marty, under that caution, Jerry Nadeau told his crew chief, Tony Furr, if you want to make a wedge adjustment, that's great, but whatever you do, please tear off both tear-offs because I'm having a very difficult time seeing. This is what Jerry was looking through. But guess what? He now has no more tear-offs left on his windshield. Those were his 2 final tear-offs. And for Bobby Labonte, he didn't have any tear-offs left to pull off. So he's having to battle a very, very dirty windshield.
Well, hopefully these guys will not have to pit again to worry about windshields or anything else.
Everybody should be good to go to the finish if we don't see another caution flag.
It's going to be close, I think, for some of these cars. Very close, but hopefully all of them can make it on fuel.
Tony Stewart in the 20 in 5th place. Ward Burton in the 22 trying to chase him down. And Dale Jarrett in that race also. DJ in 7th. 20 cars on the lead lap at this point. 12 different drivers have led today. And so far, we haven't had any serious incidents. It's been a very clean race. 5 caution flags, but most for very minor things. Only crash we had was Carl Long spinning at lap 18 earlier in the race. Everything else has been for debris or oil, one of the two.
Now, Dale Jr. started running a full-face helmet. And a lot of times, if you don't run a skirt down along the bottom, you can see his chin and his neck. If you don't run a skirt that goes along the bottom of the helmet, you tuck in your uniform, you can get debris up inside that helmet. And it used to be you had goggles on. It was real hard to get something in your eye if you wore goggles with an open-face helmet. Marty?
Well, that's their suspicion, Wally. They think some debris came from underneath the helmet or through the vent hose, but it is definitely bothering Junior with his left eye. But there's good news on the pit box here. Wilson is protected at least. He has a helmet on this weekend, sitting on the wagon, rooting these guys on to victory.
And that is aggravating, driving with something in your eye. That you can't do anything about it.
6th place here. Dale Jarrett on the move. Or trying to be.
I think Dale's got to get everything he can early, BP, because the way it seems like his car's falling on and off, he's going to have to pass as many cars as possible now that his car's probably the best it's going to be.
Fastest car the last lap by was Bobby Labonte, the 3rd place runner. Let's see this time. Yeah, it'll still be Bobby. Bobby and Jerry Nadeau trying to chase down Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's trying to pick up his 4th win of his 2001 season. Here we go again. Jerry Nadeau going to try Dale Earnhardt Jr. down low for the lead.
But Junior has that great run off the corner. If he passes him, it's going to be an inch at a time.
Last time, Nadeau worked on him for what? Had to be 10 laps anyway, side by side, before he finally got him.
Junior maintains it.
He'll dive underneath him. Junior will get him off the corner. He'll get back in line. He'll dive again.
As Bobby's licking his chops.
Jerry Nadeau went down in turn 1 and just turned left. My goodness gracious, how well that car is sticking to the racetrack.
Nadeau looking for his 2nd NASCAR Winston Cup win.
And Bobby Labonte is going by for 2nd spot, going to take it away.
Bobby looking for just his 2nd win of the season. Defending Winston Cup champion to the number 2 spot. Plenty of time to go. Since this Atlanta racetrack was rebuilt in mid-1997 to its present configuration, there have been 8 races held here. Bobby Labonte has won 3 of them. He's finished in the top 5, 6 of them.
Check out the speeds at the line this time. Tony Stewart.
And look at Labonte close in fast on Dale Jr. Tony Stewart back in 5th place. Here comes Bobby. We'll go back and get that report on Tony Stewart in a minute. First, let's watch this.
It's just a matter of time, DC. If the 18 car can cut underneath the 8 car like that and run right where he's running without getting tight, he's not aero tight, he's got a good race car.
Look at different lines. One high, one in the middle, one down low.
Yeah. Isn't that great?
Yes. Love it.
Now Labonte decides to go to the very bottom of the racetrack. Got a terrific run, but Junior's there on the outside. Man, Junior gets a run off these corners.
Looked like Bobby just needed a little more racetrack, and rather than take a chance on push-up, squeezed out of it just for a second. Then it looked like he kind of had to square that off.
Yep.
Whoa, big slip there.
And he's getting, by running that close to the 8 car, Dale Jr. making that car loose.
Matt Yoakum.
A few moments ago, Alan, Jimmy Maycar came on the radio and said, all right, time to go to work. Get up on him. And then in a few moments, Bobby came back on and said, don't worry, because I'm just sizing him up, trying to see where his weaknesses are.
Bobby Labonte's weakness might be the 25 car. Oh, that was so close. I think Nadeau really wanted to come up the racetrack.
And if Bobby's got anything, he needs to go now, because with the 25 right behind him, he needs to get by the 8 car.
And Nadeau's feeling the same thing. He's got to get Bobby now to have time to work on Dale Jr.
And the more these guys fight, the more the 8 car is going to pull away.
Sterling Marlin, Tony Stewart, Dale Jarrett. The next 3 in line behind these 3. Marty?
Tony Stewart is tight, Alan, but he's better than he was on the last run. I spent some time with Greg Cifadelli this morning, and he said, the biggest problem over the last 5 weeks, we've had great race cars, but we have really hurt themselves at the end of the races by making mistakes or not keeping up with the changing racetrack. Stewart is tight, and the car isn't getting much better. He has a lot of ground to make up if he wants to get his 4th win of the year.
2 3/4 seconds behind Dale Earnhardt Jr. is where Tony Stewart runs in 5th place.
This is terrific. 3 cars, and looks to me like they're pretty doggone even.
All right, let's switch places. Labonte will try low, and Nadeau will try the middle.
Oh.
Labonte got a good run in the middle of the corner that time. Not quite enough.
8 cars awfully fast, like you said, BC, off the turn 4 there.
Miles to go.
Bobby Labonte trying it on the bottom. Can't quite get alongside. Can't quite pull that slide job.
Junior drove it in that time.
Good run for Bobby. Got a good bite down low that time.
All right, maybe this is it. Labonte really has a terrific run, but can he do it? No.
And here comes Nadeau. Little drafting push for Junior. Labonte's making that bottom lane work off the 2.
Yes, he is.
Great stuff. 3 wide. Nadeau sticks the nose in the middle. And Labonte takes the drafting push through. New leader, Bobby Labonte.
But Nadeau did not make it by, and that just might cost him.
First time all day, Bobby Labonte has led with 31 laps to go. Now Nadeau's got to have some urgency to get by Dale Jr. here. Look how quick Bobby Labonte has gapped him.
And there comes Sterling Marlin, the 4th place car.
Check out that stat. 10 of the last 16 races, the driver leading the most laps has failed to win. Benny mentioned Sterling Marlin closing in. Dave Burns.
And Alan, he hasn't been waiting to make his move. He's been waiting for his car. The more laps his car runs, the better it gets. Remember, last time they came in, he was a little bit loose, and they tightened him up just a little bit with a wedge adjustment. But I just spoke with Lee McCall, the crew chief, and he reminded me, more laps, better car.
Nadeau's got the outside run on Dale Jr. 2nd place.
Now, Nadeau has, I think, the preferred line. The top of the racetrack. He's going to take that spot away from Junior.
But you see the gap up to Bobby Labonte already a second in those laps it took him to get by Dale Jr. There's Bobby, there's Jerry. He's got some work to do to catch him.
But he's still got 28 laps to it. He's got a long time to do it.
Check speeds at the line and see how the top 2 are doing. While we check that, Johnny Benson starting to show some smoke from behind the 10 car.
We see the 25 car is faster than any other car in the top 10. Marty?
Johnny Benson is showing smoke, soldiering on 7 cylinders. And Alan, this is your fault. Remember our conversation with James Ince this morning? You told him to go with the bigger gear, so he turned more RPM, so he's blaming it all on you.
I didn't tell him any such thing. They told me they were going back to their original gear. They had thought about going conservative, but they were going to go back the way they were in practice yesterday and hope that it lived to the finish.
It may live to the finish, but it will be running slowly at the finish.
Got a final commercial break to do between now and the checkered flag, so let's take it here. Bobby Labonte leads Jerry Nadeau by an even 1 second. Jeff Gordon running 9th in position to lock up the title.
If you Tri-State Patriots, Monday at 11 on Eyewitness News 5.
Bobby Labonte is the leader of the Napa 500 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. 23 laps to go between now and the checkered flag, and Jerry Nadeau closing in. This has been an exciting race. Let's take a look at our Pepsi race recap and the events of the afternoon. Gorgeous weather for starters. 70-some degree day, resulting in a 96,000-plus crowd turning out. That was early. Dale Earnhardt Jr. getting Mark Martin loose and then wrinkling up his left rear quarter panel. Bobby Labonte, the leader, almost didn't get past an early spin. Carl Long got turned around and into the inside wall. Jeff Gordon tried to lock up a championship after the pit road incident of last week. Had a close call there. Ricky Craven spent a good bit of time out in front, or at the front in this one. Had a transmission fail on his car. Ricky Rudd's bid to hold on to second in points. Slowed by a cut left front tire in the late going. And then this, the pass for the lead. Jerry Nadeau sticking the nose in between Bobby Labonte and Dale Jr., giving Labonte just enough of a push in the draft to go by and take the top spot for the first time all race long. Labonte leading at lap 294. He started back in 39th spot.
And here is a battle for the 3rd spot. Last time by, Sterling Malin is in front. This time, Dale Earnhardt Jr. was in front. And looks like Sterling may have it. Well, not yet.
That outside lane, giving Jr. that run off the top.
And look at this, for the lead. Nadeau just drives under Labonte.
Go one more time.
Wow. Power move by Jerry Nadeau.
3rd place, still going at it.
Sterling Malin is a little faster, but he just can't get the grip he needs on the bottom of the racetrack to get by Junior.
Where did Jerry Nadeau get all that speed from?
Whoa! Oh, Sterling Malin almost lost control off turn 4 that time.
But he didn't get out of the gas. Slide job. Yep. Squeeze up and shut the lane off. So Marlin to 3rd. Last lap by, Jerry Nadeau was 0.3 of a second faster than Bobby Labonte. Where did all that speed come from?
And look how far he's driven away from Bobby Labonte in just 2 laps.
So the handling or something has fallen off on Labonte's car all of a sudden. And he's fallen back from the lead now to losing sight of Nadeau.
Now, Jerry Nadeau, Tony Furry's crew chief can just say is, please, let's don't have another caution flag. Please, let this thing go green the rest of the way.
The 25 car was one of the guys that was a little tight on fuel just before that caution came out to the finish, so...
Good point, Alan.
Hope that doesn't hiccup on him in the last lap. It's one thing, of course, to have fuel in the tank. It's another to have the pickup to where you're getting all of the fuel out of the tank, so we'll see. You know, this is going to be a very good day for Rick Hendrick, it looks like. Rick Hendrick has got a car leading the race and one going to lock up the championship. Matt?
Well, I walked over and I talked to Tony Fern. I said, you guys felt like you might be one lap shy a little earlier in the race. And he gave me the okay sign. He says, we're going to be close, but we should be okay. Meanwhile, Mark Clark was talking to Jimmy Maycar, Bobby Labonte's crew chief, and said, remember, this is after the 25 passes, that the 25 thinks they are going to be one lap shy, so we still may be okay in this. But the 25 guys say they're going to be all right. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, right.
So that Rick Hendrick car leading the race. Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s slide continues.
Kevin Harvick very quietly has worked his way up, trying to take over this fourth spot.
It's a pretty late rally for him.
Yes, it is.
Harvick started back in 38th place. Bill Weber, looks like the championship trophy is going to get passed out just a little bit from now.
Well, car owner Rick Hendrick is down here. You don't know whether to laugh, cry, cheer, worry. You're having a fairly good day.
I know what to do. I'm worrying. I know exactly what to do. I'm worried. I'd like to see Jerry win this race for Pop, and I'd like to get this championship running in the top 10. So pretty nervous right now.
That'd be an amazing accomplishment, Rick, if you can pull that off.
Yeah, the guys have worked hard, and you know, they put on a good race today, so this is some of the closest racing I've ever seen, so it's been a great year.
It has been. Nadeau's very good at this track. Obviously, it looks like you will walk away with a championship here today.
Boy, these things are hard to get, and these guys have worked hard. You know, everybody in the organization has worked hard, and to win the truck field and this field, it's been a great year.
Now, if Jerry can make it on fuel,
well,
there's something else to worry about, Rick.
Hey, don't tell me anything else.
It's been a great race to watch, but he's been fantastic to watch down here. Watching TV, walking away, back to the TV, talking to people, watching the race. Just another great gentleman in this NASCAR Winston Cup sport, headed for perhaps victory lane as well as a championship.
Yeah, Bill, and what would be Rick Hendrick's 5th NASCAR Winston Cup title, 4 with Jeff Gordon, 1 with Terry Labonte. And you see Hendrick Motorsports having a pretty decent day.
Nadeau has 10 laps to go as he goes by the 21 car of Elliott Sadler, the 55, Bobby Hamilton.
And he has left Bobby Labonte. 2.26 seconds from Nadeau back to Labonte. They better be hoping that 25. If you're Bobby Labonte, you better be hoping that 25 car runs out of gas.
Check that. In 2001, Elliott Sadler started 38th and won the race at Bristol. The 25 car, Jerry Nadeau, started 41st today.
Farthest back a race winner here at Atlanta has ever started. 37th. Bobby Labonte, this race 2 years ago. I talked to Jerry in the garage area this morning. I said, what do you think? He said, we've got an awfully good car. I said, you worried about coming up through the traffic? He said, we've got an awfully good car. He was very confident. Gap from Nadeau back to Bobby Labonte. There it is. That's 2.5 seconds. Exactly. Yep. Dale Jr., by the way, has lost another spot. Ward Burton has gotten by him. So Jr. back to 6th.
Dale Jr. almost 10 seconds now behind Jerry Nadeau.
Nadeau, a 31-year-old from Danbury, Connecticut, has had a very difficult season. They won the last race of the year last year here in Atlanta. Really felt like that was the coming together for he and the Hendrick team to springboard them to good things to this season. Then they've struggled. Only 8 top 10 finishes all season, and they failed to finish 8 races.
Now there's a battle going on for the 6th position. Jared had it from Junior. Junior took it back away, and here comes Jeff Gordon trying to take it away from both of them.
One more lap, and Jeff Gordon clinches the championship. because then he couldn't finish far enough down in the race to lose the points he'd need to lose. So next time he crosses the start-finish line, Jeff Gordon is the 2001 NASCAR Winston Cup Series champion. And he's going to do it fighting Dale Earnhardt Jr. for 6th place.
Oh, a little loose there, BP. About got her down on the apron.
Let's listen. I guess he's a little busy for them to pass that message on to him right now.
Well, he moves into the 6th position. He's got about 2 seconds to the next spot.
Well, he wanted to win it running up front. It's not going to be a win, which earlier in the day looked like it had the potential to be. But he's going to get himself a good top 10 finish today, unlike the last 2 weeks where they've struggled so badly. Earnhardt Jr. and Jarrett, 7th place. There's the banner. It's official now. NASCAR Winston Cup Series champions for 2001, Jeff Gordon and the Hendrick Motorsports team.
4 times he has won the championship. And he's, what, 30 years old? My goodness.
9 seasons, 4 championships. That's incredible. And he pretty much locked it up with a strong run of races middle of the season. Wins at Indianapolis and Watkins Glen in early August set him on the road to the championship. And now just a couple of more laps to go before the celebration can begin and the Champions Trophy is handed over to Jeff Gordon. So, Jerry Nadeau. Is there enough gas in that thing?
Keep digging. 2 more laps there. Lap and a half. Be careful.
Yeah, be careful.
He's got an eye on the track, an eye on that fuel pressure gauge right now. And Tony Furr's got his eyes shut.
If Jerry Nadeau were to look at that fuel pressure gauge and it start going down or fluctuating back and forth.
Oh, no pressure behind.
White flag is up. Final lap here at Atlanta for the Napa 500. Jerry Nadeau up on Bobby Labonte by 4.3 seconds. A little farther along, and even if it runs out, he could coast it home. He's wiggling the car. The fuel pressure's low. Does Labonte have time to catch him? The leader's off the pace. Where's the green car?
Here he comes.
Here comes Bobby Labonte. Is he going to have enough time? Off the final corner. Nadeau's going to lose the race. Bobby Labonte is the winner.
There's your drama.
Wow. Jerry Nadeau runs out of gas a half a lap from the checkered flag. Bobby Labonte wins the race, and Jeff Gordon has locked up the championship.
That is just brutal.
I mean,
it's brutal.
You know that as soon as that fuel gauge bobbled, that fuel pressure gauge is like, ugh.
Unbelievable finish. 2nd straight time here in Atlanta.
Great job by Bobby Labonte and his crew today.
Bobby Labonte, the defending NASCAR Winston Cup champion, will yield the trophy to Jeff Gordon today, but he'll do so in victory lane, having claimed his 2nd win of 2001. And for Jeff Gordon, boy, what can you say? 4 championships in 9 seasons of Winston Cup racing. And there is one heartbroken young man right there. I think that no one will feel anything but happiness for this man, Robbie Loomis. We talked about him last week in our pre-race show, and Dave, let's hear from the new champion crew chief.
And a big hug from the 2nd place today anyway, up until that point, Fatback McSwain, the crew chief for Ricky Rudd, but you are the Winston Cup champion crew chief for 2001. How does that feel, Rob?
Whew, I'll tell you, it feels great. It's just, you know, this championship, I said all along, is Jeff Gordon's championship. People all along have really never, I think, give Jeff the credit he is, and I'm just fortunate to be a part of these guys. This DuPont race team, Hendrick Motorsports, all the guys at the shop. Real shame for Jerry there at the end. Jerry had a great car all day long, but it's really, thank you, Nick. I mean, it's hard to say. You know, Mr. Hendrick gives us so many tools to work with. Pop, I hope you got that black hat on today. I think you did. And Brian Whitesell, the job he's done all year long. It's just,
a great team effort, and I can't say enough. It hasn't sunk in yet.
I think some folks might have doubted early in the season. Obviously, Las Vegas was the first win, but did you guys think you had it early on?
You know, we just come out and put our best foot forward each week, every practice, every qualifying effort, and every race. And like I said, we've been very blessed. The good Lord's been with us all the way. We've been doubted since all our life. I think everybody's been doubted, but that's part of life. We just got to put your best foot forward, and what you get's what you get. This was a great year for us.
All right, go celebrate, Robbie. And the crew chief who's celebrating a victory today is with Matt Yoakum.
The 18 team needed a break. They haven't really had a great break all year. How about that win? And you guys were questioning whether the 25 could go the distance. I'll tell you, it's amazing. It just shows you that, you know, you don't never give up. You know, we knew they were going to be close on fuel. We didn't have the best car today, but you know, the good Lord smiled on us. We just got a break that we've been looking for all year long. Seems like we're on the short end of the brakes all year. Maybe this is the moment where we're looking for to turn this thing around. One race to go, and this could be Chandler's last win. Yeah, well, let's hope not. Let's see if we can't go to Loudon and keep this thing going. But Jeff's done a great job for us for many, many years, and he's wore out his old knees, and you know, it's about time for him to settle down and let some of these young guys go at it. But we appreciate everything he's done for us. What were you thinking when you heard that 25 started to wiggle? Well, you know, we knew early on that they said they were going to be close on fuel, so we let Bobby know that and told him to keep digging and keep him in sight. And actually, I looked down to write something down. I looked up and saw him on the backstretch, and I looked again. I thought, that is the 25. So I hollered at him, keep digging, keep digging. You know, he's out of gas. We can still beat him, and yeah, we did. They started 39th. Alan and Jeff Chandler, he started his Winston Cup career here in Atlanta with the late Alan Kowicki in this very event in 1985.
One of the tire changers on the team retiring from going over the wall at the end of this season is Jeff Chandler. Boy, Jerry Nadeau has got to be just distraught.
Got to be pushed back in by a wrecker.
Ran out of fuel, half a lap from the checkered flag. Bobby Labonte is the winner in Pontiac Grand Prix. Congratulates Bobby and the wide track attack team on yet another victory. Second of the season for Bobby. Pontiac, wider is better. Marty Snyder.
Bobby climbs out. 2 years ago, he started 37th and won here. He led 147 laps that day, though. Today, he led 13 and started 39th. And he came into victory lane shaking his head. I think he's still shaking his head. Did you have any idea Jerry Nadeau was close to being out of fuel?
Well, Eddie Mason Cup, their spotter, said something about it, and I didn't know if Jimmy repeated that or not, but they said he was close, and, you know, as hard as he was running at the beginning, I ran that hard, and my tires gave out. You know, it just jumped there at the end, and his car's, you know, probably more efficient than ours is, you know, with his aero, you know, that he's got, and, you know, he just kept on going. So, but really proud of these guys. We'll take them any way we can get them. We've had, you know, unseasonably bad luck at times, so, you know, unfortunately for Jerry, because he had a great race car and ran a great race and did really good, you know, but finally it came our way this time on very good fortune. So this Interstate Batteries Pontiac was at the right place at the right time this time.
There was some great racing out there with you and Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Jerry. Were you having fun?
Yeah, I mean, that was a lot of fun. I mean, you know, that's what racing's all about, I guess, is, you know, our cars were really equal there at that stage in the race, and our tires were. And, you know, we just, you know, got by Junior and, you know, we're able to get away. But when the 25 came along, you know, he came back and, you know, whooped up on us, so he ran out of gas.
This is a great way for you to cap off your championship year, and you hand off the trophy now to Jeff Gordon.
Well, you know, Jeff's done a great job all year, and, you know, he's been consistent week in and week out, and just want to congratulate those guys on a great championship season. And, you know, our sponsors, Interstate Batteries, MB&A, Circuit City, Cintas Champion, Food Lion, Coca-Cola, Husqvarna, Ditch Witch, and Goodyear Tires, you know, a lot of great people out there, and Jimmy Maycar and Joe Gibbs, all the guys here at the race shop. You know, we've had some bad luck. We were 20-something in points first time here, so it's pretty good to come back and, you know, get a great win here.
They only led 13 laps, but I don't think they care. Bobby Labonte in victory lane, win number 2 of 2001.
Jeff Gordon wound up finishing today in 6th position. He needed to lead by 185 at the end of the day to lock up the title. He has done so. And Tony Stewart has gone by Ricky Rudd into 2nd with 1 race yet to go next Friday at New Hampshire at noon Eastern on NBC. Let the champion celebration begin. Bill Weber.
And down here on the front stretch at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, a familiar place and a sight for Jeff Gordon. Another NASCAR Winston Cup championship, his 4th, one of only 3 men to win 4 or more championships.
He knows the pose. And he knows the trophy. Tony Gibson and the rest of his crew all here. Be a few high fives and a kiss for Brooke. If you go and shake everybody's hand, we're gonna run into next year's Daytona 500. A hug for Robbie Loomis. We knew that was coming. And now for car owner Rick Hendrick. Congratulations, champ.
Oh, man. Wow. I'm just blown away. I'm just absolutely blown away that this is our fourth time doing this. It seems like the first time all over again. Each one gets sweeter. And, you know, first I want to say what a true class act and champion, Ricky Rudd, Dale Jarrett, Sterling Marlin, Tony Stewart, all those guys that we battle with for this championship. What a battle it was. But all the guys in the DuPont Chevrolet team, they just were incredible this year. You know, they just were flawless in the way they prepared these race cars, in the way they performed on pit road, the way the engines performed. That was a backup in there, and you would never known it today. Just really, you know, I could be here all day long thanking everybody. I want to thank Robbie Loomis. It's his first championship. We're really proud to have him on board and get him his first championship, as well as a lot of other guys on this DuPont team. Brian Weitzel, there's so many guys that are crucial to this championship. And the only other thing I want to say right now, besides getting a chance to thank my sponsors, which I hope you'll let me do. You know, all year long we've been honoring America and honoring heroes, and I think it's only fitting that we honor, I think, one of the greatest champions NASCAR will ever have is Dale Earnhardt.
I think they agree.
Well, he taught me how to race for a championship, and he taught me an awful lot of other things, but we miss him a lot, and we're just so proud to be able to get this Winston Cup championship and get our fourth one. And I know if he's here, he'd be the first one coming over here congratulating us. So we're just so thrilled. I want to thank all the fans, especially want to thank DuPont. All the folks from DuPont have been great this year. Quaker State, Pepsi, Fritos, GMAC, Haas, EDS, Delphi. We got a lot of sponsors, and this Chevrolet has been hopping this year, and we're so proud of it. And can't forget the guys that are giving us a big check right here. R.J. Reynolds, everybody from Winston, they're great partners of ours, and we just love being a part of this awesome sport, and it wouldn't happen without all these fans. So thank you so much, and you guys at NBC too.
Hey.
You guys have been great. We appreciate it.
Thanks, man. We got a little presentation.
Did I forget anybody?
I think you did okay, but we got a presentation, so you can work on that for a minute. We'll hop up there and do the presentation, but first let's go hear from his teammate with Matt.
And back here in the garage area, Bill, Jerry Nadeau talking to the media. And first off, did it give you any indication it was going to go?
No. It's an unfortunate deal. We just didn't get good fuel mileage today. I'm not sure why. We were pulling a lot lesser gear than everybody else out there. Usually when you do that, you get better fuel mileage, but it just wasn't today. Not sure why. But UAW Delphi team did a super job. Great pit stops all day long. Got real loose there with about 15 laps to go, but I figured I had a good enough lead. I figured I'd just save the car and bring it home. And God darn it, half a lap to go and just wasn't able to get there.
You told me on the way over you could not imagine this had happened. You never thought this would happen.
Well, no. When it happens to you, you never realize it happened to anybody. But after all the races I've seen in the past, it's happened a lot to a lot of people. And so I just got to take it good. There's one more race left. Hopefully we can win that one at Loudon on Turkey Day. And hopefully this will spice up the wintertime and get ready for next season.
He doesn't win, but he finishes with 3 straight top 5s here in Atlanta. A first, a third, and today, a fourth. Alan?
All right, man, thank you. Here are the finishing results from today's Napa 500. Bobby Labonte with his second win of 2001.
And check out where the top 4 started. 39th, 28th, 30th, 44th, 41st, and finally someone in the top 10 runs 5th, Ward Burton.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. led the most laps, faded to 7th at the finish.
And the 7th car, Kevin LePage, also ran out of gas on the last lap, running about in the 10th position.
Kevin was the last one on the lead lap. Everyone from Casey Atwood on down, at least 1 or more laps down. 38th place, Ricky Craven was the first of those who failed to finish. Craven led this race on a couple of occasions, but had the transmission troubles that would lead to him spending many laps behind the wall. First out of the race was Carl Long with an early crash, and that's the way they ran in the Napa 500 here in Atlanta today. When we come back after this break, the presentation of the NASCAR Winston Cup Champions Trophy down trackside. It's the Autotrader.com post-race show. NASCAR on NBC, wrapping up today's Napa 500 at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, won in most exciting fashion by Bobby Labonte. Jeff Gordon about to accept the NASCAR Winston Cup Series Champions Trophy, having locked up the title for 2001 with still one race to go. You see them making ready down on stage now, getting ready for the presentation. We'll join it momentarily. Gordon with a 6th place finish here today. While we wait on the presentation, let's hear from Ricky Rudd, who come up short in his bid for the 2001 title. Dave spoke with him moments ago.
And we caught up with Ricky Rudd heading away from his car that he did not have a good day in. Ricky, your comments, Jeff wins the championship today. You were his closest pursuer all year long.
Yeah, we kind of figured on Jeff, it was just a matter of time before he wrapped it up. We've been fading hard the last 3 weeks, not really sure what's wrong. We got to get back on the program a little bit. We didn't run good, then we had a flat tire and hit the fence, and that just kind of finished us off. And gave up probably 20 positions when that happened.
You're favoring your back. Did you receive an injury there?
No, I've got a deal. I guess I got that Mark Martin syndrome. I got to go get it worked on this winter. No, it just hurts when you sit in that seat for a long time. But no, just a disappointing day. The championship we knew was out of hand, but looks like we're going to give up 2nd, maybe 3rd if we're not careful.
All right, Ricky Rudd, a true gentleman in defeat today here in Atlanta.
Okay, Dave, thank you very much. Back here on the front stretch at the Atlanta Motor Speedway and the presentation of the 2001 NASCAR Winston Cup Championship Trophy. Let's begin with NASCAR President Mike Helton. Congratulations on an excellent season to you, Mike.
It was a great season, and thanks to guys like Jeff Gordon and Rick Hendricks for making it that way. Jeff, on behalf of everyone at NASCAR, Bill Prance, his family, all the employees and members of NASCAR, the millions of fans, congratulations on joining an elite group. There's not many guys that's won 4 of them. You're only one of 3, so congratulations, and we're proud of you. Thank you a lot.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
And from the R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Company, Chairman and CEO Andy Schindler.
Jeff, I want to congratulate you, the 24 team, Rick Hendricks and Hendricks Motorsports for winning the 2001 NASCAR Winston Cup Championship. This is your 4th championship, and I'm proud to say I've been here to present all 4 of them to you. Here's your trophy, man.
The 2001 NASCAR Winston Cup champion, Jeff Gordon, his 4th. These are moments you never forget.
No, I tell you, I want to thank Mike and everybody from NASCAR, and of course Andy and everybody from Winston. This has been an incredible year for us, and the sport has grown to a whole new level, and we're just so proud of all the efforts that were put out to take this sport to that level, and proud to be a part of it. But every time I hear that number 4, 4 championships, it still just boggles my mind. I can't believe it. But I didn't do it alone. I did it with every member of this race team. They came together and said they wanted to be champions, and they proved it. And through the grace of God, we were able to do this together as a team and just get through a lot of adversity from last year and just build on that and become a much stronger team this year and come out here and win a championship. And phenomenal year.
Yeah, you cornered the market on adversity last year, didn't you?
Yeah, we were testing our patience quite often. But you know what? I keep saying, I've said all year long, that year we had last year is what made us champions this year. If you don't go through some tough times along the way, then you really never find out what exactly you're made of. And you can say all day long that you're champions through the tough times and the good times, but until you go through and do it like that and come back and be champions. And there are a lot of critics that didn't think we could come back and do it, and it makes us awful proud to be able to come back and put this thing up front all year long and win races, big races, and then come here and do it in the fashion we did today with a good, strong finish.
Congratulations to you, your car owner, and your entire team. You're the 2001 NASCAR Winston Cup champion.
Thank you so much. It's awesome.
Woo! Jeff Gordon celebrates here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway his 4th championship. And, of course, they'll also give him a little bit of money here, Alan.
Yeah. Some $3.6 million on Friday, November 30th at the Winston Cup Awards ceremony in New York. TNT will bring you coverage of that. We've got still another race to go before we wrap this season up. What do you say about Jeff Gordon? I'm sitting here looking at the stat sheet that they faxed over here from the press box. Let's see. At age 30, the youngest driver ever to score 4 championships. 4th title in 9 years. Incredible what the young man and his race team have accomplished.
Really, they have been a phenomenal team. They felt, everyone said when Ray Evernham left, the team was gone down the tube. Robbie Loomis came in and they didn't have the success right away that everyone thought that Jeff Gordon should have. But he and Robbie Loomis finally got on the same page, and they are communicating beautifully, and they still have a terrific race team there.
And the weight of the world is off that team's shoulders. They wanted to get this thing done this weekend. They did not want to really race for this championship going into New Hampshire next weekend. So great team, great effort. Jeff's a great champion. These guys deserved it.
Rick Hendrick, his 5th Winston Cup title. He's assembled just an outrageously impressive organization, but I think perhaps the man on the championship team everyone will feel most happy for is Robbie Loomis.
Yeah, but the end of this season has been so weird. I mean, because all of a sudden the guys that were so strong in the first of the season aren't strong near the end. When we go to Loudon on Friday afternoon, who knows who's going to step up and be the main guy there?
A lot at stake at New Hampshire. All of the top 10 spots in the points except first will be up for grabs, and that's a lot of money between those positions. That's at noon Eastern time. This coming Friday, spend part of your Thanksgiving weekend with us. We'll be in what will hopefully be sunny New Hampshire for the New Hampshire 300. Jeff Gordon, your 2001 NASCAR Winston Cup Series champion. Great race here in Atlanta today, but in the end, turn the page in that record book. Jeff Gordon joins Dale Earnhardt and Richard Petty for the 4th Winston Cup title. That's all for today from Atlanta. Now we send you to Kailua Kona, Hawaii on NBC for the 2001 Ironman Triathlon Championship.